Look at that. Oh, wow. What timing that was. You posted that as soon as I hit my button.
I know, right?
Hello, everyone. I know
Hello,
there's
people
probably
that aren't
nobody
there
here
yet.
because I've literally been live for 20 seconds. But
I
welcome
don't
to
know.
my.
We're here.
You're here,
We think.
yes. My friends, Patrick and Cecil. I don't know why I had to stutter when I said that.
I
We
don't
will
know
be
why
ranking
either.
all the Castlevania games from, I wouldn't say worst to best, but we're ranking them S, A, B, C, D. And I'm going to be rambling around like a moron because I'm, as usual, when starting something new, nervous as all hell.
Eh,
So,
I have an honest question about the ranking thing. Isn't there supposed to be an F?
that's
Like,
D.
isn't?
You know what? Hold on. Let me go and
Well, and then are we gonna do a did not play?
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
we'll
We
just
need.
we'll just keep those ones off to the side. You know what? Yeah, I should be.
Yeah, we need a
I'm
we need a did not
prepared.
play.
I thought I did one.
You had like 2 weeks.
I did have 2 weeks. You're right. Okay, so
2 weeks,
we'll do,
and for the time that it took Cecil to get in here.
Right.
which was 2 weeks.
Which was 2 weeks. Well, 2 weeks and like 10 minutes of me being like, "Duh, hey guys, where are you?"
Now I have to do that. Shrink you guys a
I
little
have
bit.
to. Oh,
Okay.
let me go here and see. Oh, look, see if anybody. Yeah, like I said, nothing. Oh dear.
There. Now we have a not played.
Okay, good.
All right. Now we're good to go. I think.
Okay.
Because I don't have my stream up, and I really can't with how I have it all set up right now.
It looked good.
It does look good. Okay, that's all I care about.
Yeah.
Scamdar, hello.
Hey,
There,
Scamdar.
where are you? Is Cecil's opening for any? Where are you? Is Cecil's opening for any stream? Oh, where is
It's not
Cecil's
far
opening?
off.
Okay, I'm an idiot. that's
Yeah.
that's one thing you're gonna notice here is I'm fucking dumb as hell. So
Yeah.
Cecil will be
Like,
doing a lot of the entertaining around here.
oh, good guess. That's the real
At his
reason you want me to
expense.
fucking dance, monkey,
Yeah,
dance.
grabbing your coattails. You're gonna lead us off of a cliff.
Oh,
Please
did
don't let
did
this stream reflect you leaving Cecil's following count.
Oh no! Yeah, we gotta check Cecil's followers first,
yeah,
and then
my
we'll see how they are at the end of this.
I imagine that it'll probably remain largely the same. I don't know.
Will
I
it?
don't. I think with all the dude, believe me, if they didn't leave after Spice World, they're not fucking.
Still,
and
you
to
still
carry
haven't
it
done
up.
S Club 7, by the way. I
No,
want to
I
point that
have
out.
it though. Well, I'm brokenhearted. Poor you, fucking John died. You know, it's like it's.
Well, it's a
It,
perfect time to do it.
You should do it in honor
uh,
Yeah,
of him.
I know, but
exactly.
I've been waiting for it to for somebody to do because all it is on DVD, and I know that it was remastered because I've seen a copy of it remastered, but I'm waiting for it to get released on Blu-ray or something. Got to do that shit and properly. But people have been waiting years for it. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna half-ass it.
you hinted it at Spice World.
I know.
that I think was like 8 years ago at this point.
I think it was actually probably even longer ago than that. Might have been like more like 10 years ago at this point.
So
Every time I make the S Club joke, I always think of you.
Aw.
There's no party like an S Club party.
There is no party like an S Club party.
fuck S
Shake,
Club.
shake your body from side to side. Look, we found your DS.
I saw
Yes,
Mrs. T sent me a photo.
yes.
She let
'Cause
me know.
she goes look, and she holds it up, and I took me a good 30 seconds to
Of
process
course
what
it
it was.
did.
Because well, I mean, I'm looking at this. She's holding this fucking purple rectangle, and I'm like, the fuck is that? And then I'm like,
Kinda like-
oh, it's
Kind
your
of like,
DS.
what time are we starting? 8:30,
Yeah.
8:39.
Well, it's 8:39. Of course we
Well,
didn't start.
to be fair, I actually was a little bit late too because I was I
don't
was trying
say.
to well, I was convinced you, Patrick. You can You know the
Oh,
pain. I was trying
yeah,
to get
children.
Riker to go upstairs to go to bed. You know?
Oh yeah, no, we were dealing with that with Kanan.
Yeah.
I just came in here and was just like, I'm gonna go stream. I didn't have anything to
Yes.
take care of. I'm
No.
lonely.
Well, you've got 2 dogs and a wife. That's
Yes, a sick wife.
I was like, oh no.
So I
Yeah,
can't.
she
I'm in
can't
here
breathe,
streaming.
apparently.
Yeah, I can't breathe. I'm a loving husband.
He certainly is.
Oh, so how are we doing this nonsense?
Are we? Should we go
Very
like?
poorly, I bet.
Very, very poorly. Yes.
Should we go like by
Order?
each one? Like say, all right,
Order.
where do, and then should we like maybe say, all right, I think that this deserves to like, because is this going to be like a where we feel it should be, and then we're gonna kind of
I gotta
Just-
imagine like personal opinion with where you think it would be, because I can guarantee you there's gonna be a few on here that you are totally not gonna agree where I put it.
Yeah. Bridget looked at my cliff notes and she's like, "Ooh, really? That's how I feel."
And there's a few that I've played recent, like since starting this. I've wanted to get a few out that I've never played before, and I got those out. And ugh. I'm just gonna say
some
that.
games you go back to and you're like, wow, really?
Yeah.
I will say, I think we should start actually with the Lord series, simply due to the fact that I've never played a single one.
Really?
Just get that one right out of the way.
That was the Xbox 360 PlayStation.
There you
ones.
go. Look at that. Patrick's got the
Yeah.
props.
I've got some of them. Now, I have some, not
Okay.
all.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Who wants to start?
I have no opinion.
Oh, you
You go
ahead.
first.
I was just gonna say.
I'm gonna say D.
You're gonna say-
not,
wow.
D did not fall.
All of them?
Well, there's only
I never-
two, right?
There's
Two.
3.
There's 3.
Yeah,
Oh
there's
yeah, because then there's the DS one.
yeah.
Oh, but that's yeah. I mean, but
Yeah.
yeah, that one is which that was Lords of Shadow. Yeah, that
Mirrors
one.
of Fate.
I forgot
Mirrors
about
of
that.
Fate,
Mirrors of
yeah.
Fate. Yeah, that one I actually liked the least. So that one I put in
So,
D.
so
Oh,
here,
that
here's my reasoning behind the first one.
Okay.
When they announced this, I was so hyped because the pretty much the thing they threw with it, Kojima's in it. Kojima's doing something. Kojima. It's like, oh crap! I love Metal Gear, and I love Castlevania. So what could go wrong? This went wrong. It's well, at that time you gotta think, how many God of War clones were there? A million.
A million.
A lot. Yeah.
A million. And this was just 1,000,001. I did not like it. I tried because I was like, oh, it's Kojima and Castlevania, and then it's like, it's just a God of War clone.
Wow.
I will say this. I played the first one up till the ice boss, which I believe was the first boss. And I
Yeah.
said, I'm not really enjoying this. And I didn't
because
play
it was God
play
of
the rest.
War mixed with Shadow of the Colossus. That's
And-
pretty much what this game was.
And I'm just, and this is going to be shocking because I love Greek mythology. I just am not a fan of the God of War series, so never have
I-
been. Even the
I
first,
thought the
even
first
the first
God of
ones.
War. I thought the first God of War was a lot of fun, and I did really enjoy it because it was like, at the time, it was like a breath of fresh air because there wasn't really anything else like it.
No,
And then there was everything like it, so
Yeah.
it's not quite as
no.
great.
Before that, all the games were copying Devil May Cry, which
Right.
was, in my opinion, an infinitely
We'll get
better
to that
series.
in some of the other games.
Yes.
Yeah. I actually
Now we
I-
have
I'm-
Dad of War.
oh god, that's even fucking that. Give that a F. That sucks.
Well, we aren't.
I don't like them at all. I don't like that
We
at
aren't
all.
ranking those, thankfully.
I
And no,
know.
I did not
well, there's
enjoy that
only
at all either.
There'll be a much shorter video.
So we'll
I-
just.
I'm really torn for Lords of Shadow. I thought it was like fun. I'm kind of like if there was somewhere between like honestly for me a B and a C. Like I really I enjoy. Now the second one with Emo Danzig as Dracula.
Well, wait. I guess we can
I'm just
spoil
gonna
it because it's what
throw that right in
a 30
D.
or like a 12-year-old game. Because isn't from what I remember, the twist is you end up being Dracula, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But didn't I thought they
Yeah.
unveiled that early on?
That's revealed in the first game at the end of
No,
the
I
first game.
I think
pretty
that
sure.
it's like Act 3, I guess you figure it out. Yeah,
Mm.
exactly. Patrick Stewart and Kojima could not save that game.
Yeah. So I kind of liked Lords of Shadow, but I mean the thing is I recognize that it is not what a Castlevania fan is looking
No,
for.
not in
Like
the slightest.
Castlevania fans, what's the one the games that came out recently? Was it Bloodstained?
Bloodstained.
Yeah, Bloodstained, the like the 8-bit
Yeah.
Mhm.
ones where they're more like Castlevania. Like
Well,
that.
That's eager.
That's what.
That's
yeah, what I'm
why.
s- like that's what the Castlevania fans want. You know,
Yeah.
it's not hard. And the Lords of Shadow series, it felt like they were overthinking it, and they were trying to take it to something where it shouldn't go. You know, Castlevania, the best ones are all 2D.
We'll get to
Like
that.
they don't need to go like it's. But I mean, but I think Lords of Shadow, I think it tried, and I enjoyed it for what it was. But I recognize that it is not what you would want as a Castlevania fan.
I'll toss.
Like I give it credit. They tried something. They tried something new, but that something new was a formula that every game of that era did.
Mm-hmm.
God of War
But-
clone.
Yeah, I think if you separate it from the Castlevania
It-
license, I think it would
I'll
be
say
more
this:
like
it looks beautiful. Like
Mhm.
the backgrounds and the levels look awesome. It's just it's missing that soul of a Castlevania game.
yeah.
I will.
Eh.
I will meet you guys halfway and throw it in C. But sorry to interrupt.
No.
I-
Go ahead.
I
We're
will-
gonna be
I
doing
will
that
give
all
it a
night, I'm
C.
sure.
Yes.
Well, since D is going to be the bottom of the barrel,
Mm-hmm.
I'd put it in C. From what
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never played the second one. From what I remember, they kind of just embraced and just went batshit, no pun intended, batshit crazy and just made it super over the top.
Yeah.
And he basically was the hot topic goth vampire.
Yes. Like I only played
Dracula.
about 3 hours,
And then,
and then I was
wasn't
like,
there s-
nah.
and aren't there like several storylines in it where there's a past storyline and then he's in present day?
That would be the Mirrors of Fate you're talking about.
No, 2 Lords of Shadow 2.
Oh.
I know there's 3 storylines in Mirrors of Fate because
Yeah.
you're Simon, Gabrielle, and are
Trevor.
you Alucard?
No, yeah, Trevor.
Oh, Trevor.
Yes.
Yeah, I
only
think,
played a
like
little
said,
bit of
I only
that one
played like
too,
3
so.
hours, so I think I got a
Oh.
little bit into the storylines, and I was just like,
I'll be fair and put that in not played
And
then.
and my problems with Mirror of Fate, again, it's that product of its time. It's that like 2D / 3D where it's like, ugh.
yeah. I think 2.5D they called it, right?
Yeah,
We got-
where it's like, ugh.
Yeah, I didn't like that one at all.
Yeah.
Like that one, and then I don't know if it's on the
throw it
list
back
or
on
not.
D then.
The multiplayer one.
That's on there. We'll get to it.
Is I
Hey.
fucking hated that
We'll
one.
get
It's
to
on
that
it.
one. We'll talk about
Okay,
that one
we'll
later.
get to that one. Okay.
I need to
Yeah.
acknowledge
There's where the-
similar
Yeah.
path as Mega Man. First of all, no, because the Legends series are actually fun.
Mm,
Hey Cecil, your camera is off.
What about soccer?
yes.
Soccer's not 3D. Soccer is garbage.
So-
I can say that
Well,
I
you
played
mean-
it.
You
so.
mean footy?
Footy?
Because I was talking
Mega
to
Man Footy.
yeah I was
Football.
talking to a Brit the other day and they're like, oh, footy, and I was just like laughing.
Hey Cecil, your camera is off. He's only 3 cats in a trench coat trying to preserve the mystique.
Exactly.
He's
I
a
was
real
saying-
boy, and his name is Anakin.
Wow, that's a callback.
Yes.
That person that you saw in the
Please be aware,
Suspiria
everybody.
video,
There's going to be a lot of inside jokes in this video.
Oh my god, yes.
yes,
A lot of which, if you actually looked at the context, we'd all be fired.
yeah. Well, we've known each other for like 20 years now, right?
Before,
Like 22.
Like 20, yeah.
before
or take.
September 11th. If that,
Yeah.
think about that one.
Holy
before
fuck, yeah. Oh
2001.
god, yeah. Oh my god, yeah, seriously. So back in
I'd say about 2003, 2002,
Oh, before that.
2003.
Because I think I started chatting with y'all when I was playing Dragon Warrior 7. And that would came out in 2000.
I think it was like I think it was
I think it
some-
was.
well, you know what? I mean, really, when
Like
hey,
2000
when did G4
When did
when
G4
was-
TV start?
Yeah, when did
Uh,
G4 TV
Let's
start?
see here.
Because that really is where
G4.
2002.
Oh, so all right, I'm way off.
So yeah, so I would
Never
say
mind.
probably I would say probably
Well,
like
forget dates.
2003.
2003 it would have been because
Yeah, probably.
with all the
And,
with the forum
and yeah,
nonsense.
so because I said what 2004 because wasn't that the first classic gaming thing where we all met like in person?
Yeah.
So I
Mhm.
think I think so so really I mean we were talking on Xbox Live and shit and for like just being awful on there and then we actually met in person. We're like, hey, we're all human. Woo. Yeah, well, except
Whoa,
for
now
me,
we're
you
awful in
exist.
I'm
person.
three cats in a fucking trench coat.
Oop, I'm scrolling down too far. All right. So what? Will you go? Should we go in order then?
So-
Now at this point,
Yeah,
just
sure.
go to the first one, the
Yeah.
original Castlevania. I think.
Oh, you're
I'm
gonna
sure
go.
Patrick
You're gonna go
has
like
it.
in order of like the release.
as
Right.
as well as I can because I'm. Once you start getting to like 96 with like Symphony and the Game Boy games, I am completely stumped.
Well,
like
you
in
can
the
go
order they
to
were released.
just go to Wikipedia. They have it listed by year.
That would have to put another window on my screen, and I already have like 5 of them on already.
Oh my god.
Then also, if you look at the tier list of the pictures, I'm
Mhm.
pretty
I
sure that's pretty accurate in
I
order.
think that is in order. So, because I believe
Mm.
Legends did come after Symphony, so it's just the only
Yeah,
one. That's,
Legends was
yeah,
one of
Legends
those
came after
late
Symphony.
Game Boy games.
Yeah. Oh, we'll get to that too. We're gonna get to all these, and a lot of them are not gonna have fun things to say about them. But Castlevania, we will. I know that. Although
Yes.
I put it squarely in B, just because I believe it is basically the average game that you can base all the games off of, and basically the good ones are above that, the bad ones are below that, and it's basically right in the middle. I don't know where else to go with
yeah,
that.
it's got it has its positives, but it has its negatives.
Mm-hmm.
But it is the start, and if that one wasn't here, this list wouldn't exist.
No.
Mm-hmm.
but it is, in my opinion, yeah, it is very average. It is also very easy to break when you know what you're doing. Basically, if you know what you're doing, it's one of the easiest games in the series. If you don't know what you're doing, it's one of the hardest games in the series. So, because all you have to do is grab holy water, and you
And
pretty
it
much burn through the entire game.
Mm.
Mm.
I
and
would
it
I would
and
put
it
it
has
in.
that point where like
No, go ahead, dude.
no, I was gonna say, and it has that point where it starts relatively easy, but then there's that certain point where it just like, you know what? Fuck all y'all. We're
I
going ridiculous.
I know exactly what that point is. It is
It's Frankenstein.
no, I think it's before Frankenstein.
Frankenstein is
He's the
level.
like, if you when you're good at the game is the wake up call. But if you're just starting out and
See,
playing the
that's
game, I'd say it's that spot in level 2 where you go up the stairs and there's Medusa heads and you have to jump over 3 pits.
so.
That one spot right there is where you you realize the
But
game's not
like
playing
once you get
around.
past that bump, it's. But once you get past that bump, there's that one part when you're going to the mummies with the birds. But I don't
Oh,
know.
thank you for the
Frankenstein was
follow,
always
whoever it
where
was.
I
I
was
don't have that
at.
up right now.
Mm.
I do not know who just followed me because I do not have that up. I apologize.
Oh, I was just I almost caught it, but it right as I was looking, it
No,
went
I
away.
have it up like 10 seconds and it just disappears. I'm not one of those people
Ah.
that have like big celebration
Mm.
like some people in this chat that has it going for like 30 seconds when somebody follows.
What? My thing is like 5 seconds.
What's the one that's the long one then?
Well, that's for somebody that is subscribed for over a year. So they get the long man. That one's honestly like 10 seconds.
Okay.
But it just feels like
I,
it's long.
I'm going to guess that was Scamdar, by the way, that followed, because he just said the Phantom
Is it
follower and put Bagul on there.
was that the
Mm.
If so, thank you, Scamdar. Scamdar.
it was it the Final Fantasy 11 firework that just goes congratulations?
Another throwback. Good God.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, that's what this whole thing's gonna be.
Congratulations. Two.
Two.
That's what it
Congratulations.
was. Two congratulations.
I actually just canceled my Final Fantasy 14 subscription
Wow.
for a little bit. Yeah, it was a good run, and I'm sure I'll come back to it, but oh boy, this last expansion was not good. But we're not going to get into that because you guys don't play the game. So,
No.
highly recommended up to this point, but
I was gonna say for Castlevania, honestly, for me, that one I would put up in S. Like just simply
really?
like Patrick said, because if not for that game, there would be no, this list wouldn't be here, and a lot of games like it wouldn't be here. I mean, and the thing is too, this is the only game that I can think of
That you've
that
beaten?
has the whip. No,
Oh.
I've actually I love the game very much. I played it back in the day. It was I played it back when it was like pretty new.
Mm-hmm.
I was lucky enough to get an NES cheap. And I just thought it was awesome. I thought it was so cool. It was unique. It was unlike anything else that was out there. And I managed to get I could consistently get all the way up to the Grim Reaper, and I would
Mhm.
always lose on the Grim Reaper, and I bailed.
Sounds
and
about right.
I never ever was able to actually beat it. I would like to
I-
actually go back and try to beat it now because I probably could. Although I would cheat, like I would use like the rewind. And
I was going to
shit.
say the
Save
anniversary
date.
collection.
Save date.
Yeah.
I-
So
I
it's
got-
funny. I
and
wanted to
then-
see Riker is really good at Cuphead. So I wanted to see. I'm like, you know what? Because I gave him a bunch of like old NES games. I'm like, let me see if you can, see how you do with Castlevania. And he's like, that bat, it stinks. Like he couldn't get past the bat. I'm like, really?
I didn't clock my last time, but I think I might be under 20 minutes on that game.
Wow.
Beating it.
What's the world
Really?
record?
I
on
think
that?
it,
Probably
I think it's like
minutes or
12.
something. Yeah,
12 or
something
10.
Insane.
Yeah, no, I don't have that. Because there's like tricks you can do where you'll basically if you whip something on the same frame and that you hit it with a cross, you'll kill it
Oh.
instantly.
Oh, okay. Isn't there two, like one where you whip something and you sort of fly to like the other end of the level?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
no, I think that's a different
Yeah,
game, but
That might be in like Symphony of the Night or
Yeah.
something. Or
that's definitely Symphony of the Night.
okay.
So
Yeah. So I understand. Like I'm looking at you. I'm looking at the game from a perspective of I understand why you would put it lower simply because it's not as good a game.
It's not perfect.
No.
Now,
But again, like I don't know. It's just it has a special place for me. You know.
I will bump it up to A just to average that out.
Okay.
But-
I will give it an A. I will agree to move it up to A.
Yeah, I think A is fair.
All right. Now the next game I think we could all put under not played, right? Vampire
never
Killer for
played it.
DOS.
No. Oh God, no. Never
Okay.
played it.
Oh, okay. Oh, I forgot about it. I thought we were doing something else.
No, none of us have played Simon's Quest.
I forgot about Vampire Killer.
Yes, no, it's basically an extension on the first game that basically puts all kinds of RPG elements and makes it more open ended. And I saw gameplay footage. I mean,
From like
eh.
it seems like it's the precursor to 2 because there's a lot of
Yeah.
elements of 2 or Simon's Quest in it,
Yes.
Mhm.
but it doesn't look good.
Well, it's a
Like
DOS game.
it looks like
Yeah.
a generic version of 1. Yeah.
Yeah, the DOS games when they
So,
would kind of
didn't play,
expand
but,
upon
like-
it, they, you know.
No, yeah. So we can move on from there to something much better. Simon's Quest.
Didn't play it, but it didn't look
Oh.
good. Never played it. No.
Yeah, so never played. So all three of us haven't played that one.
Yes. So we're gonna move on to Simon's Quest. That's easy enough. And I am going to do my first controversial opinion. This is a better game than the first one.
Wow.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
It is a better game than. Ooh,
it is.
it is. All right, I got an agreement here.
Okay.
I will.
And like I'm not gonna. No, go ahead.
Because when I did my cheat sheet of like ranking, I did S, A, B through F, and I put it in B, which how we're gonna throw it off.
Yep.
So are you putting it in A or B?
I am putting it in A.
Are you
Castlevania.
putting
My
A or B?
Castlevania's in B. Simon's Quest is in A. The only
I
issue.
was gonna put it in B.
The only issue I really have with Simon's Quest is just how obtuse it is. Like if that was fixed, if translation was fixed and things weren't so subtle, it would easily be S. The fact that you can
we
save.
got
Mhm.
the version that came out recent, like the ROM fixed
Yes, the
version. Like, if
revisited.
that
Yeah.
came out,
Not
like,
revisited,
it would be
What is it called? Redacted.
redacted. Yeah. But we didn't get that,
No,
unfortunately.
we got something that
But, like,
was
and
telling
then-
you to go talk
and
to the
then-
graveyard duck to to live longer.
But you also have to look like if you look at the NES games at that time, the second entry was always the one where they tried something different.
Mm-hmm.
The notable ones, Castlevania 2, Mario 2,
Zelda.
and Zelda 2. They're all different. They're all different from that initial one.
It
I,
it was a mindset
there's
back.
so much about 2 that I love.
I'd say 2 is probably
Like-
Simon's Quest is probably the best of the experimental bunch, really. I mean, the only thing that it gets wrong is is just like Keith said, how obtuse the shit
Yeah.
is.
Translation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Because
that's not really the fault of the game. That's the fault of the localizers.
yes, it is. Because the gameplay is better, being able to save your weapons, like your dagger, holy water, all that. the currency system with the hearts, and then managing the currency, using it as ammunition as well. Then you have day-night cycle, 3 endings, which was unheard of back then. Just the game design, in my opinion, is better. The more open-endedness of it, basically, open the doors for the Metroidvanias that would come later with Symphony of the Night. I said the soundtrack was better, right? Like by miles.
Yeah. Well, and then like just looking at the box art, it's basically an homage to Ravenloft D&D. Like
Yes.
they ripped it off, but it's easy to say that. Just look how
it's
that
totally
is.
Ravenloft.
That's badass. It's Ravenloft. Like they just tweaked what Dracula's not looking outward; he's looking inward. It's just the music. It gave us Bloody Tears, which is to me the best Castlevania song that's been redone 8 bajillion times.
It's in my top 10.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's number 1, but it's in my top 10. Dwelling of Doom, which is the mansion theme. Then you had Silence
and the Message of Dark. Like the soundtrack. The soundtrack alone puts it in A. I can't give it an S, but I'll give it an A.
No, I cannot put it. I can't realistically.
It gets a lot of bad. It gets a lot of bad rap, yes.
Yeah.
But it has a certain charm to it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Patrick's
it's
frozen.
Definitely unique, especially back then.
I think we might be losing Patrick.
Uh-oh.
Oh well. He'll come back. But no, Simon. Oh.
I can see where the original Castlevania. That. Am I good?
There you go. You're back.
Okay.
You're back now. Yeah.
But I can see where a lot of people hate it. But like, I don't know. It just has it has a Castlevania feel to it. It's creepy. Yeah. I don't know.
I think a lot of people too. There are a lot of people that just hate it that haven't played it. Like they just watched.
Yeah.
They just watched James's video.
Yeah.
And they're like, it
base their
stinks.
opinion off one guy.
Yeah. And
but
now,
if
granted,
you watch
I'm not
like
saying...
James' later video, but like if you watch James like retrospective on Castlevania, he basically comes out and says like it's not that bad of a game.
Yeah.
It just has a lot of bad PR, I guess you would say, to it.
Yeah, and didn't he do the thing where he actually, because he was the one, I didn't even know that there was the ROM that fixed it.
Yeah.
And he did that video where he's like, oh my God, they fixed it, and they made it better, and and he's like, this is what the game should have been. And I mean, I agree. I was like, hell yeah, that's awesome. So, but yeah, I mean,
I did actually play that. It may be just because I know like everything already, but I felt the game went too like explaining things at time. Like the clue for the
over-explain shit.
Yeah, like the clue for the tornado at the cliff, which in the original is
Deborah's Cliff or whatever.
Yeah, the original is hit your head against Deborah's Cliff to make a hole. Which doesn't work. But in the redacted, it basically says kneel at the cliff with the red crystal to be taken to the next area or something like that. But it specifically says kneel at the cliff with the red crystal. And it's like, you can be a little more subtle.
Like
than
you
that.
want a little, just make it a little like don't even say kneel, say like pray or something like that, because that's
pray at the edge of the cliff.
You do if you kneeled.
And don't say red crystal, just say pray at the edge of the cliff with a crystal to summon a soul or whatever. I don't know. I'm not a writer. So
You're not a talker either.
No, I'm not at all.
Yeah.
Why am I even here? I mean, on this plane of existence.
I need somebody to goof on.
Okay, all right. I think we're done with Simon's Quest.
So Simon's Quest, where we landed on?
We'll land on
A.
A. Yeah, you got two A's and a B.
That's
so.
fair. Yeah.
Moving on. I unfortunately do not have the art that I want to use, so we're going to use standard art here. Does Patrick have the art?
Wait, which game are we doing?
Haunted Castle.
Adventure?
No,
Oh,
Haunted
God,
Castle
no.
came first. I have no way to display the picture
The
because
terrible.
hold on.
I
This-
love that
this-
art.
You know what? What the
I
hell?
want that
No,
game.
the spirit Halloween like terrible like the guy that looks like he's a mixture of John
There we go.
Cryer and then the comic book short
There we go.
owner
Now
yeah,
I think people can
from
see
Big
it
Bang
now.
Theory.
and then the lady wearing like somebody's shirt, like
I
very-
have it up
very-
on my screen now.
Dracula apparently
Yeah, I
has like
see
the
it now.
worst eyesight ever.
Where did they get these models? Because I don't think this
Like-
game was released in America or Europe for that matter. But-
That
Like it looks like
Oh, you know
it
what?
looks awesome.
It does look
Maybe
awesome.
That
I wanna
maybe
play this
that
game.
maybe that art was what, because it was released in the arcade.
Mhm.
Maybe that was the art that was on the sides of the arcade box.
I'm pretty sure
The-
it was.
The cabinet of it.
Yeah.
the cabinet. Maybe that was the
Well,
cabinet art.
Patrick's the arcade cabinet collector. Maybe he can go
I-
and find
I-
one.
I don't know.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
buy
know.
one.
Like, yeah, I'm looking on eBay now for a Haunted Castle arcade just so I can have that.
Yes. Hunter Castle arcade machine.
It looks like a terrible like 80s metal like
That
It is.
album
Oh,
cover.
no, wait. Oh, okay.
that's what I thought it was, and you were making a joke like we need to talk about this one instead. I didn't realize this was actually the freaking game.
Yeah, the art is. Oh, it's okay. No, I don't think that's.
well, it's kind of like that the one that's on like the Turtles arcade with like with the big I bet that was the arcade cabinet.
Right, because I
Side.
have that, like I have the replica of it, and it has like the the April with the bad wig, and all right, maybe that's okay. So it's not the arcade
Yeah.
art, but maybe it was the PC box art, because the PC box usually got different art for some
Yeah,
reason.
that also looks like terrible 80s like big box art.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Oh,
Don't
I
get
love
me
it.
wrong.
That's probably my
Yeah.
favorite. That's my favorite Castlevania cover right there.
Yeah, if only the game actually reflected how awesome the cover was.
Right. All right. Let me just
Ooh,
see.
that game.
Let me,
Ugh.
let me pull the list back up and make sure everything's
Let me
proper. Okay.
see.
Yeah, this. I only played the
Now,
hold
the
on.
Dominus collection.
Yeah, I only played it on there, obviously. Okay, there we
Okay,
go.
It
Now I got
looks
everything back up.
like.
So
It looks
so
like that might be
setting
it.
the-
It looks
the
like it might
awesome,
be the PC
like-
box.
That was the PC box.
I'm
So setting
for,
aside
Mhm.
the awesome art, game is terrible. Wait, now the opening, I guess, cutscene is kind of funny
Mm.
with like them walking out of the wedding chapel and Dracula's zapping them
Yeah. Ah!
because, but the other thing, the character model that's walking out of the chapel, like the first thing I look at, I know Cecil will know exactly who I'm talking about. The two bodybuilding twins that were in a lot of like 80s, late 80s, that oh god, what
Oh,
were
yeah,
their
the-
names?
Hans and
They were in all the 80s terrible action.
Oh
Right.
no, I think
the
of somebody.
Barbarian Brothers. Peter
Yes,
and Paul, the Barbarian
That
Brothers.
guy, that's who it looks like walking out. Like that's who I think of. Like that body build, like walking.
I mean, to be fair, Trevor kind of has that look too, though.
Yeah,
kinda
he does,
has-
he's
But
got
it's
he's
the
got those
same
big thighs.
hairstyle.
Yeah, it really does.
And he look, I've back to the game to the gameplay. Like him walking, it's a mixture of it looks like he's trying to hold in a shit, or he has a kidney stone and he's trying to make it to the bathroom. Like he looks like he's in pain walking.
Yeah, he
Well,
does like the
'cause
For
grunt
somebody that's
walk.
had a kidney stone, that's how you walk. That's how you walk if you have a kidney stone.
That's probably how you feel when you're playing the game too. This was bad. I got through it. I mean, I put it on unlimited continues just to get through the game, and I probably would have spent maybe about $90 in quarters just to actually get through the game. There were so many cheap moments that were designed basically to just drain your health, so you have to put more quarters in the machine.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, I know it's an arcade game,
Simon's
but
movement was responsive. Because if Simon's movement was responsive, it probably wouldn't be so bad. But God, that motherfucker can't move. There were so many things that you were gonna get hit no matter what.
yeah, the elevator
Just to put
and
in another quarter.
the elevator in stage 5, I think, was where I basically said this is. I wasn't having a good time to begin with, but that was this part where I was like, okay, this is legit just designed to drain your wallet. Because
did you play the original one or you played the Dominus one?
Well, we'll get to the revisited. We'll probably do revisited right after this, but
because I'm just curious as to how, because I only played the Dominus one.
They're both
terrible.
I know that the Dominus one is I heard a lot of people just skip it, but I played it just out of curiosity because I didn't have the ROM for the Haunted Castle.
And they also didn't really promote it with the it's like, oh yeah, by the way, we've got Haunted Castle in here too.
Oh yeah,
and we have a remade version. And it's like they just glossed over it.
They're like, well, because they know that's not going to sell. It's not going to sell any units.
No.
I mean, a new Castlevania game after God knows how long of the original friggin' thing probably would have sold something, but in all honesty, a collection of the DS collection would have sold it anyways. So, but no, the game sucks. Moving on. And I guess we could talk about Revisited now, because apparently Patrick is not a fan of the Revisited thing.
No, it's a turd. It's a polished turd. It's still not a good game.
I enjoyed it. There was enough of a difference, and it didn't feel nearly as cheap. They definitely they made it plays a lot better. It sounds a lot better, but even though Haunted Castle, actually the one good thing you can say about it is its soundtrack is amazing. But it plays better. It reminded me of the Castlevania Adventure Rebirth, only more closer to the original, because Rebirth is literally a whole new game. So, I enjoyed it. I may be the only one that enjoyed it out of this group, but I enjoyed it.
I thought it was bad, but it was okay.
I won't say higher. I won't go higher than a C, but D is where I want it. But I'll let D slide.
I'm good with D for it.
No, I would have put it in C.
So 2 Ds.
2 Ds. D, yeah, you know where it's going.
I can't wait until we have one that we're all.
Yeah, until we're all.
I can't wait till there's a game that we all three have a different opinion.
Looking down this list, I'm trying to see. I can see one being very contentious. One specific that's gonna be really contentious, but no, I think we're pretty much all gonna be in line on most of these.
Most likely.
Speaking of being aligned, I think we could just do this and move on, right? Castlevania Adventure in D.
Yeah.
This I played, and again, I did not. Huh? What'd you say, Patrick? Oh, you're just holding up the game. I thought you said something.
No. I will say this. So you're wanting to do D.
Yes.
I will agree with D, but it does have one of the Another one of my top 10 songs, the Battle for the Holy,
Yes.
is
It's
an
the
awesome sound.
only good thing that came out of that
That's
game.
the only. And the other thing I have to take in effect with Adventure, that was, I believe it was a launch title for the original Game Boy,
It was.
or it was
Wow.
right. Okay, I knew it was a launch title, or like within the first few months. Like, so you've got to take that
I,
in effect, or like. But then again, you
I,
have Super Mario World for it, and that was a really good game for its time.
I would say
I'll go
I
with
would say
D.
Tetris
I would
was
say
too, but
C.
that's not a fair comparison to compare it to Tetris.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I was gonna say Tetris really
Super Mario Land is a much better comparison to it, and Super Mario Land is actually a fun game.
And
The artwork's cool.
what was
The cover art's cool.
What was the goblins? The ghouls and goblins one that was the RPG that I'm told. Demon's Crest.
That was Super Nintendo. I didn't know that was Game Boy.
No, they had a Game Boy. There was the Game Boy one first,
Oh,
and then Metroid 2.
that wasn't a launch title though.
That was
No, it
late
wasn't a launch title, but
Yeah.
that was awesome.
That was awesome.
title.
The only Metroid game I've played from
Metroid 2 was awesome.
only Metroid game I've played from beginning to end.
Wow.
I've never beaten any other Metroid game.
I beat a few of them, but some of I haven't played the most recent one. The
Dread.
Dread. I haven't played
It's-
Dread. Although I have a friend of mine said it was amazing.
Yeah, it's Metroid. I mean,
Mhm.
2D Metroid. You really can't screw that up.
It's
not
Metroid.
Oh,
when they ripped off Amy from Red Planet.
Fusion.
Which
That
is-
was Fusion. I beat from beginning to end too.
Mm.
Forgot about that one.
Fusion got me through jury duty one year. I played because I was just stuck in the
I'm going to
dining
get-
room.
I'm going to
Sure.
guess you weren't picked for the jury.
No, I was not.
Just sitting there. Hold on one second.
Put down the Game Boy.
Put down the Game Boy.
Yeah, put down the Game Boy. What? I'm not
Sure,
paying
put down the
attention to
Game
the
Boy.
thing. I'm just sitting there. Well, actually,
He's-
I mean, it
he's-
wasn't even the game. It was the
Se-
Game Boy. I was playing it on my modded DS.
Cecil's got his Homer Simpson glasses on as he's looking down at his game.
Yes, the eyeballs painted on there.
God damn it, Samus. Who is Samus that this guy keeps screaming at?
But anyways, we really got off sidetrack there.
We
What a
did.
shock.
You know what? I honestly.
Yep.
I know I
As
played-
predicted.
Oh God, yeah.
Eh.
And we're only on like the fourth game. I can't remember if I've actually played. I know I played some of the Game Boy Castlevanias, but I'm not sure if I actually played this one or not.
You'd remember it.
The
So-
other thing I really remember about this game, besides the one level 1 music, there is a lot of fucking eyeballs that roll at you
Yes.
in this game.
What's
Like, that is the most common. Like, I think there's more eyeballs that attack you
What's-
than bats in this.
What's funny is we'll get to it eventually, but the Rebirth basically made fun of that. And they made the first boss of the game a giant eyeball that just bounces around the screen.
But yeah, like, that was like the most common enemy in the whole game, were the rolling eyeballs.
Yeah. Yeah, they
Okay,
really
yeah,
loved
then
that
I
sprite.
I don't
for some
remember
reason.
that, so I don't think I played this one actually.
The artist was like, I'm putting this in the game.
The game also runs at like a quarter speed of all the other
Mm.
Castlevania games. That's the other like
Is that-
meme
is that-
thing. I think I read
is
one
it
of the
Christopher Belmont. in this one?
yes, Christopher. Christopher was
Ted-
Adventure and
Yeah.
Adventure
Well,
2.
Ted Belmont.
Christopher
Ted-
learned from that Simon from Haunted Castle how to move.
Yeah, that's the other thing. What was
They-
about this?
They both have to take a shit and have kidney stones.
Just-
I was listening to Battle of the Holy on YouTube, and I saw one of the comments that basically said, "Walking at 50% speed intensifies."
It's an awesome song.
It is an awesome
But
song.
that's about it.
Ah. Anyway, yeah, we got to move on from Adventure because
Yeah,
I want to talk about this
D.
one. My first S. Dracula's Curse. Castlevania 3. This for years was my favorite Castlevania game. Like I liked this one more than Castlevania 4, which I know a lot of people pretty much put 1 or 2. So, but Dracula's Curse, in my opinion, is one of the best games in the entire series. It's got a soundtrack that rivals Simon's Quest. The gameplay of introducing 3 different characters is fantastic and switching between them. Grant is awesome, and why he was ignored in the animated show, I don't know why, but hey, who needs Grant, right?
They didn't want to put some nasty in it.
He does have the greatest last name too, Dynasty. But it also brought in the Beldanas clan too, which became a huge, just as big as freaking Belmont clan in Castlevania lore. So yes, fantastic game. One of my favorites.
So you're putting that on a S.
It's D. So, no,
See,
it's S.
Yeah.
Not played. Never played it.
Never played it. No.
I would put that on it. Personally, I would go A for 3, but
See, I'm gonna say A.
Oh.
It's the best of the NES ones. As much as I like Simon's Quest, but god damn, this game's hard.
yeah, that's the other thing too. It is a bitch.
Like
It's
there can be a challenge in a game, but they ramped it up.
I will say
There's
this.
a lot of frustrating moments in this game.
It is one of the few Castlevania games I can't beat like consistently. Like
Yeah.
I'll have a bad day and I won't be able to beat every other Castlevania game I'll be able to beat even on my worst day. This is one that, like, if I'm having a bad day, I'm not beating this game.
What character is your main?
Grant.
Go Grant.
Grant by far. Grant, he's the best mobility, and when you actually learn how to get up close with his dagger, you can literally make the enemy not move. More so than Trevor's holy water. I do swap back out to Trevor whenever I need to do a boss, but when it comes to like anything else in the game, I go on Grant and I never change.
That's the Hunchback.
Yes, that's the
Okay.
pirate. That's Dynasty.
Yes.
So
That's
Dynasty. Get on top of you and do the nasty.
You were on me for
Also,
so
this is
long to
the,
do this movie.
I was. I just wanted to hear that line.
You just wanted that line. That was it. I made sure to put
I
that
didn't.
in
I didn't
there
care about anything else. I just wanted to hear that line.
just for you.
God, there's just so many frustrating. Like, it's a good game, but God, there's a lot of frustrating moments. Fucking Grant's level, that clock tower
That is
a pain in the ass.
the hardest. The hardest level 2, I think, in any video game is Grant's clock tower. Even harder.
God.
Even harder than Ghosts and Goblins Village. Because that's the only other one I can think of that's.
But it's because I think this from a Castlevania lore perspective, this one pretty much made the lore.
Yeah.
Like there's lore in 1 and 2, but I think 3, Dracula's Curse, pretty much set up
Yeah.
a lore, because probably at that time, like, games didn't really have a like
No, Ninja Gaiden was the only like
lore,
series.
I guess you would say.
Ninja Gaiden was like
Yeah.
the only series that like consistently had a lore on the NES. I mean, there was the RPGs like Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest, but like when it comes
And
to like
then-
platformers,
But like they weren't like continuations. It's like so you had
No.
Final Fantasy 1, 2 really had nothing to do with it.
yeah,
We're not even going to get into Zelda timeline because
no,
but like for a consistent like, oh, I know what they're referencing in this game because I'd played that game. Yeah.
Yeah, it really didn't start until
And then
there.
also and then unrelated, I remember when the game first came out, like the sticker on the box, like you could win a trip to Transylvania. I wonder if anybody actually legit won that.
I mean, it was.
Wow.
I think it was a trip to Castlevania or a cash prize. So I got to imagine whoever
They're
won it probably took the cash prize.
So what was the what did you have to do? Like it was in the box, or
I think if you beat the game, you took a picture of like the final screen and you sent it out.
Let's see.
So
I'm gonna look this
so
up.
we'll make another Simpsons reference joke, which will probably be a lot of this. It's Bart when he
Oh.
wins the elephant. They're like
Oh.
Transylvania.
I want my elephant.
Where's my elephant? Where's my elephant?
Yeah.
Oh, they're playing the new remix of that. I don't remember the exact
we
line
were
the old
expecting
people
them
are
to take
saying.
the trip to Well, the trip to Transylvania was probably cheaper than the payout, depending on what it is.
I don't know. A flight to Europe is probably pretty
Well,
pricey.
back then, I don't know. They'll put you in coach. I'm sure they're not sending you first class.
No.
They just put you on a cargo ship. Here, go, kid.
Yes.
Have fun talking to Dracula.
Okay, wow, it's on the cover. Yeah, win a trip to Dracula's hometown.
And I'm sure Transylvania is great.
Poughkeepsie,
But-
New York.
The fabled trip to Dracula's backyard never actually happened.
Oh, what a shock.
Konami quietly canceled the
Boo.
entire competition. There doesn't seem to be any record of people even getting the first or second prizes. Wow. You know
Konami's
what's crazy though?
Konami
Fuck
a
you,
piece of
Konami.
shit.
back way before this, Atari, when they had the Quest games, the
Mhm.
Earthworld, Fireworld, and all that, they actually, they did do the first two.
Mhm.
They had God, I forget what. I think the first one was the Earthworld was the chalice. So the winner got the gold encrusted chalice or the gem encrusted, and then the second one, the guy won the sword for Fireworld, and there were actually pictures that did because it came out a few years ago. The dude who actually had it, he had he took a bunch of pictures of the thing, and he sold it to a pawn shop because he was like, he needed money really bad for something.
Ooh.
And I'm like, oh God, I'm like, that sword has been melted down. That beautiful sword is going.
What-
And then with the third one was going to be the Philosopher's Stone, but Waterworld, it was finished, but it was never actually released because the games were not selling particularly well. But they did have a competition, I think, with the two people who won the first two games, and one of them won something. But it was supposed to be there were 4 games, and then whoever the winners of each of those all got together, and they would all have to beat the games, and they would win some kind of prize. It was actually really fucking cool. Back then when they just had piles of cocaine and millions of dollars, and they were just trying all kinds of, we'll give them a sword, and we'll give them jewels, and it was awesome.
Hey, we're gonna give somebody a sword, man.
Yeah, I mean, shit. You remember when we saw Howard Scott Warshaw? With his fucking with his MC Hammer pants.
Hello, it's hammer time.
Right.
Hey, that guy has the Philosopher's Stone somewhere in his house.
He probably does. I wouldn't be surprised. Fucking dude
So,
wrote
I-
ET in like 3 days.
Say Dracula's curse.
I will drop it down to an A because I'm being outvoted. Curse you all.
Yeah, I'm looking at. I never got anything from Konami. Never heard anything
Dracula's
in the media
curse,
about it.
y'all.
Never saw anything in Nintendo Power. Never talked to anyone who knew anything about it. It's too bad because I would have loved to have gone. I'm sure a lot of people entered though. It was a popular game. I suspect Konami. Yeah, they fucking was gonna. So, oh god, yeah, I'm looking at the. Oh wow, there's a whole big article here. Yeah, it looks like they. I guess maybe the game it didn't sell well enough for them to really do it. Like it sold well, but or maybe they just decided to cheap out and they didn't want to do it.
It was a later NES title, so it probably didn't sell terribly well. I think it came out in like '91. By then, the Super Nintendo was like starting to creep out, and
Yeah, but apparently they. Oh, it would have been $5,000 or the trip to Transylvania.
I would have taken $5,000.
God, $5,000 back then.
Probably would have sent you to Transylvania and have spending money.
Let me just let's see. I'm gonna look at the inflation
Send you to
calculator.
Pennsylvania.
Nobody wants to go there.
No, nobody does. The roads over here stink. All right.
Nobody wants to go
that
there.
is-
Says the guy who goes there every year.
Yes.
What is
just
wrong
for
with
the
me?
Steaks.
Yes.
Okay. $5,000 in 1991 is 11,700 now.
11,000. Oh my god. You know how much Coke that could buy?
The soda.
Still would've went-
Yes.
But
Oh,
you're
yeah.
going. but it's
Sacrilege
Transylvania.
for Cecil, by the way. I'm drinking a Coke right now and not a Pepsi.
Oh, piss water.
Elden Ring.
I don't know, I mean,
Elden
I
Ring gave
wonder,
out.
though-
Sorry.
I was gonna say I don't know, like $5,000 back then. Like I don't know. I think I might have taken the money and then, did my own flight to
Yeah.
Transylvania. Or
It would have been cheaper.
it probably
But-
would have been.
Elden Ring gave out swords with putz kits. Bunch of dumb influencers that had no idea what the game was got them.
Oh, God, that drives me fucking nuts. Because those are the things that they end up like throwing up on eBay or something. And yeah, they're like, "Oh, I got this thing. I don't know what
press
it
kits.
is."
Okay, yeah, I should have figured that out, Scamdar. I'm dumb. Like, what the fuck's
Yeah.
a putz kit?
But you're a putz kid.
I am a putz kit.
Your mom's a butt kid.
Your mom. Wow, that's fun. I didn't know that. That's what drives me, man. How do I get on I occasionally will get a Blu-ray or something,
Souls games stink.
Well,
anyways.
after
No, you
this
just think of them.
stream, you're not getting shit.
No. You're
No.
associated with that fucking mediocre ass. I gotta come up with a new word. Subpar works too. We'll just say that
Yes.
from now on.
It does. All right, let's where are we at?
The game. No, this is the. Yeah, this is the actual version that's on the anniversary collection of Kid Dracula.
I never played.
Never played it.
I don't remember anything about it, so there we go.
Is the only reason it's a Castlevania game is because Dracula's in it? Or is it
I think it's like
legit?
No, it's not a legit. It's like the final boss is this giant dinosaur freaking thing. So like I said, I don't remember a thing about it. I don't remember hating it. So I'm just gonna throw it in C. And since I'm the only one that's actually played it, there's no real argument there. So moving on, Belmont's Revenge.
There. You can get us back. You can get us back for making a Dracula's Curse an A. So it's like, fuck you all. I'm putting this in
Yeah,
C.
this is getting an S.
Well, without putting Belmont's Revenge in C, that's for damn sure, because everything that was wrong with Adventure, they fixed with this one.
Oh wow.
This is a great game, and the soundtrack is just as good as Adventure. I see
That's
Patrick
cool.
thinking.
It's another one of the Game Boy ones that I'm pretty sure I missed.
At least it's not Montezuma's Revenge. Belmont's Revenge. For it being a Game Boy game, still an early Game Boy game. It was all right. I'd say C. Like, it's all right.
Custard's Revenge.
Custard's Revenge.
We're not ranking that game, although that would be be S plus. Up.
I think
Yeah,
this
Custer's
with
Revenge
Custer's
would be a boner
Revenge, this
button.
will be the first reference to Castlevania. No.
Oh, I can't show that. I'll get in trouble. It is a picture nobody wants to see. I'll leave it at that.
No.
Who the fuck is
But
Mephisto?
us Castlevania fans in the mid 2000s found it on a very popular Castlevania web or fan site.
No, pro gamer. Nobody wants to see that, and I don't want to show it.
Yeah, literally no.
No.
Maybe if people are good, I'll throw it in I'll throw it in Good Bad Flicks Discord. And somehow get that ruined.
Then throw it in there, and then I'll ban you from there.
I'll put it in the anime chat. Silverberry can lose his mind.
You know what? It'll fit right in.
Just change that chat to Thirst chat.
I was gonna change it to like Silverberry's anime dungeon of spunkery. I don't know. But yeah, it's I basically said I'm like that is the weeb containment zone.
Why am I dripping with goo?
More inside jokes.
But anyway, trying to get this train back on track.
Good luck.
I say Belmont's Revenge is a C.
It's an A for me. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it very much. Then again, I played it immediately after Adventure, so it might be that I just had that ick from Adventure and the Silverberry Hentai Dungeon. You could rename the anime chat. Got distracted, but no, I enjoyed it, and in all honesty, New Messiah is a better song than Battle of the Holy, and I will die on that hill. Both also, again, top 10.
Well,
for some bizarre...
You make the call.
He's never played it.
Yeah, I never played it, so... I played, like I said, there was other ones that I played, but I haven't gotten to yet.
I will drop it to B.
Law of averages, it's B.
Yep. We're bringing that to B then. Okay, next one, S. Super Castlevania 4. I think we're all in agreement on S on that one.
Yeah,
S.
I can't. That's by far it's my favorite.
That's most people's favorites. They cycle between this and a later one, which are coming up on. But I find that people say, "Oh, that's my favorite." No, that's my favorite. It's always between these two.
Pretty much.
This one aged better than Dracula's Curse. I will say that. This one is still like when people ask if they're getting into the Castlevania series, oh, what should I start? I usually say start with this one because it's of the four, like the first four, it's the most fair. It honestly does play the best, and it's the most straightforward. So it's literally just beginning to end. So there's no like searching out thing. There's no multiple paths.
It's a reimagining of the first one. That would be the only knock. It's basically just Castlevania 1 Super.
Well, storyline wise, yes, but
yeah.
It has a lot of showstopper moments, though.
Yes,
like the rotating room and like just all the little like
the treasure bat.
The treasure bat, like the blood dripping. Well, it was green in the American version. It's red in the Japanese version. But like it just they really were pushing all the effects and all the stuff that they could do with Super NES hardware.
And with it being a very early Super Nintendo
launch title,
it. Okay, I couldn't remember if it was a launch or, but like
No, I got that on the same
it.
Christmas I got my Super Nintendo, and I got that at launch. So,
Wow.
yeah.
But like it graphically holds up better than some of the later Super Nintendo
Oh
games.
yeah.
Yeah. It's a beautiful game. Like
Mhm.
it looks great.
The chandelier part
Look-
is my favorite part of the entire game. When you're going through that creepy
When
like
you're
opening.
when
Yeah.
you're jumping across
Yeah, you're going through the creepy
chandelier.
opening with
Yeah.
the zombies and all that, like a throwback from the first game. And then you go
Mhm.
up the stairs and you see the chandelier swing over, and it just get this powerful friggin' like piano. Yeah, that's how it goes.
Mhm.
and you can make Simon's whip go limp.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he can moonwalk upstairs.
So
Yeah,
you could
you
do like the
can.
little flipsy doodle with it. You're like flip, 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 flip. You know?
But no,
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's something else. It is
definitely an
just
S tier
terrific.
game.
Yeah.
by far.
It's also the one I probably played the most.
I'm going down the list. I'm trying to think if there's one I've played more than that one.
I mean,
Maybe
there's another one
maybe
that's
Symphony.
pretty close.
Yeah, maybe Symphony, but
But, mhm.
I don't know. Or maybe Aria. Aria might be my top one that I've played.
Hmm.
I don't remember. Anyways, moving on, I suppose. We're on agreement that that's S. Rondo of Blood. That's what we're up to now. I'm actually surprised. I thought this came out after Bloodlines, but apparently not.
Now we also have to distinguish that there's essentially 3 versions of this game.
Oh, we'll get to both of those later on, and I have a lot to say about one of them.
I have only played one of them on an emulator, and I'm not sure. I'm sorry, not an emulator, on the PS4,
Yes.
the one that was the Symphony of the Night and the
That
Requiem
would be
collection.
Dracula X.
Well, both are
Okay.
on there. You just have to unlock the old school one.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so all right, so I don't think I played like Rondo proper.
I played it on the collection, but I didn't play it on the TurboGrafx 16 or PC Engine when it first came out. So
I've heard because it had the CD score.
yes,
And I didn't, because I had a TurboGrafx, but I didn't have the CD add-on. But I
because it was never released in America.
No, I thought it was.
No, the CD add-on was never. That's why Rondo of Blood never came to America.
Oh, okay. I thought for some reason that came to America, but yeah, I love my TurboGrafx, but yeah, I never played the well, obviously because it was never available. But yeah, I played that one version of it, and that's one where I know there's a whole bunch. Like you said, there's 3 different versions. So
we'll get to ranking all of them. So
yeah, so I don't know. I only played the one, and I thought it was okay.
I'm gonna go A.
Yeah, that's about where I would put it. I think its difficulty kind of holds it back because it is a hard game, but
yeah,
but like it tries so many new things, branching paths.
Wow.
But visually, that game, like just the city flames in the background in the first level, it's a beautiful game. But
it is. Those wonderful cutscenes.
Yeah.
Cutscenes.
Which it makes me sad. I've seen speedrunners do it, and they're just blowing through it. And I'm like, God, I can't. No.
And Maria is fun as hell to play.
Mm-hmm.
That alone brought this game up to an A. Once you unlock Maria, you never touch Richter again. The only downside to Maria is the fact that she takes twice as much damage as he does. Other than that, you're picking Maria every time.
And then from a storyline perspective, it's the prequel to Symphony of the Night.
Yeah. It's the second strongest arc in the entire Castlevania storyline.
Yeah. But I think the difficulty and, in theory, the availability probably marks it down to an A. Just because a lot of people, like, what you had to go through to actually play it in its, I guess, purest form.
Yeah. Definitely. So we can move on to Bloodlines, which I never played when it first came out. So I want to throw that out there. I played it on the Anniversary Collection. And for me, this was one of the tougher ones to rank. I liked it. I just don't know if I liked it as enough to put it in an A.
I'm kind of on a B with it.
See, I'm gonna say A.
Mm-hmm.
It's because I don't think I played it like immediately when it came out, but like when I got my Sega late.
Mm-hmm.
But this is one of the games that I think I got it for.
I never
And
had a Genesis, so.
But I love it because while it is Castlevania, but it's like it plays different because it's on a Sega. Like there's just something about it, but the levels are really well done. The music's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of it from a lore perspective, it gets us away from the Belmonts in a sense. So it kind of does a branching path, and plus it kind of puts it, even though it's not current times.
That is still canon. I want to point out. This is one of
Yes.
those games that is still canon in the Castlevania timeline. A lot of them aren't anymore, but we'll get to that later. Sorry.
But like it also takes place in more modern times. It's not like the 1000s or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like the early like 1920s.
I think it's like the later. I thought it was 1800, like the late 1800s.
Well, because Portrait of Ruin is the follow-up to it.
Yes. Portrait of Ruin was in the 40s.
1940. So that's why I thought this may be maybe 1910s.
So maybe it was
Oh wait, hold on. 1917.
1917. Okay, so the 1800s was Order then. Cuz I think Order was the one before this one. But again, we'll get to that later.
But while like most Castlevanias like take place in Transylvania, this one is the globe-trotting Europe. So you've got that Italian or Italy, because you basically are battling on top of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Germany, France. So like you're getting different locations, not just, oh, I'm in a castle or I'm in a graveyard type. So there was a lot of variety in the levels.
And I also do want to point out that because it was on the Genesis, it was able to be taken away from Nintendo censorship. So it was able to have a more of an edge to it as far as like America goes, where the opening,
there's a lot of like religious symbolism in it. Elizabeth Crowley is like one of the main characters. The woman who bathed in blood is like
Bartley,
the second boss, or the sub boss. So yeah,
friggin' the intro basically starts with like a pool of blood, and you're pressing start on that with a bloody hand.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, this is not your kids' Castlevania.
Why is the blood red? It's supposed to be green. Hell, the word blood is in the title.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Genesis does what Nintendo don't.
So where did you put?
I'm saying A, and plus also, even though most people hadn't played Rondo to that point, this to most people is the first game where it's like I can pick. Well, Dracula's Curse, you had multiple characters, but
you can't pick them at the start though.
Yeah, but I always found it odd that Eric, like, he didn't fit the aesthetic of it. Like, it's like, okay, so I've got this Roman gladiator guy in like 1917 running around. Like, Jonathan Morris fits because it's like, okay, I could see that guy in that time period. But here's this guy with this lance running around.
I will concede and give you the A. Because I really can't make any arguments to that. I agree with just about everything. It's just I don't think I felt the gameplay like was as good as something that's like 4. That's the only I think that's what kept it from like really stepping above like a B. I also didn't think the gameplay was as good as Rondo or the NES titles, but I mean,
But,
everything
like,
else you're saying is like, yeah, all right, that's a good
well, and
point.
then like with the two different characters, you got different stages because of their
Yes,
gimmick that each of them have. So it gave you reason to do a multiple playthrough where it's like, oh well, I'll do Jonathan this time, Eric the next time.
I don't think I ever did it as Eric. I think I just did it as Jonathan. And I was like, I've seen enough.
Yeah. Like are like 2-ish portions of a level worth going through playing again?
Yeah.
Eh.
That's the other thing. So, all right, I'll concede. Where did you put it, Cecil?
I said
Cecil.
A.
Yeah.
I had said B, but I'm fine with it being A.
There you go. I'll give it A. Oof. All right. I don't know if people can see on my screen what we're coming up to now, but ooh, do I have things. Dracula X. This.
Rondo from Wish.
Yes. Timu Rondo.
Timu Rondo.
This. I threw this right in D. I tried. I never played it when it first came out. I was playing it on the Advanced Collection. I tried.
Well, because
tried.
it was ungodly rare to find.
Yeah.
Like even now, it's ungodly rare.
I never made it past level 3. It not only was it just obnoxious, not only was it just bad to play, it was nowhere near as good as Rondo as far as a gameplay standpoint. The level design and difficulty in this game put Rondo to shame. I swear I would whip things and the whip would just go right through the enemy. the bat's movements, I would constantly whip. It would go in between its arc as it was moving up and down every single time.
I guess the easiest way to equate it is kind of that Castlevania to Vampire Killer, where it's like Castlevania, it's like, wow, this is a really polished game, and then Vampire, it's like, what? It looks like it, but it doesn't play like it.
No.
No, not quite.
No.
Well, and with it being on the Super Nintendo, like where we said Super Castlevania 4, that was a launch title, and it looks amazing. Like Dracula X, like it doesn't. It looks all right.
I don't even think it looks all right.
But again,
I think it looks
the Timu version of Rondo.
Yeah. Everything's just dull looking in the game and like washed out. You compare it to how like vibrant and great looking 4 is, and then it like there's no comparison between the two. It's just
like it makes sense if Dracula X was that launch Super Nintendo game and Super Castlevania came later. It's like, oh wow,
yeah,
they improved.
The only
it was probably different dev teams. That's the only thing I could think of.
It was different dev teams.
Yeah, in 4 years difference, it should have been like just amazing.
No,
and I don't know if like basically they were just trying to take the code from Rondo and like make it work on the Super Nintendo, and it just came out cruddy, and they're like, whatever.
Yeah, people will buy it anyway. It has Castlevania on it.
Oh wait, maybe we just won't release a whole lot. Nobody will ever notice. Because I don't even remember this game until like later on. Like there was another Castlevania game for Super Nintendo. Because did it just release really late?
It was a pretty late title, yeah.
It was 95.
Yeah.
So
PlayStation literally came out like next year.
So maybe it's just one of those games they just didn't really do much press with.
I remember seeing press like stuff for it in like Nintendo Power and whatnot.
I just don't. I guess I was too laser focused on PlayStation at that point, where it was just like,
Yeah, PlayStation was like announced.
It just got lost in the shuffle.
So I threw it in D. I don't know what anybody else.
I'm fine with that.
Mm.
I'm fine with it because I maybe C, but I can see it being in D just because it's a bastardization of Rondo.
Ugh, yes. Well, like I said, I didn't make it past level 3. I don't even know if
But
I made it to the boss in 3.
what's so ridiculous about it is trying to track down a copy and how ridiculously overpriced it is.
I take it it's not a part of your collection.
No,
Oh.
I would like to have it, but oof. Nah, I'm good.
Let me take a look here real quick. Let's see what the going rate for it is at the moment. Because maybe it went down because it's available in other places. Probably not. I mean, only collectors would want it at this point anyways.
Yeah.
Just the cartridge is... The first one is $320 asking.
Bah.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's gone down because it used to be about 5, 6.
complete 750, and that's opened.
Oof.
It's gone down. I guess because it's been re-released so many times.
Factory sealed, $19,999. I don't think that one's accurate.
Yeesh.
Here, wait. Here, we'll see if she's still paying attention. I think I'm gonna go buy it right now. I'm waiting to see chat light up. But yeah, no. Moving on.
Yes, moving on. There it is.
You're
Christmas is coming. well, you could go and buy it this.
Sorry, kids, we didn't get anything. Your daddy got this factory sealed crappy game.
There's 47 watchers, so you better jump on it.
I bet there's 48 now.
Is that Carradine?
That is John Carradine. I had that made up specifically because I love John Carradine.
Moving on. Okay, Symphony.
It's good, bad Carradine.
Symphony of the Night. I remember seeing Cecil's original picture of this where he put this in the D tier. So we'll go ahead and throw that.
Yeah, no, actually, I've never actually played it, so you put that in the.
All right,
did
not played.
Play.
Moving on. Okay.
Yeah, we don't. I think the less said about Symphony of the Night, the better.
Oh, of course, it is one of the most iconic and possibly most influential games in the entire series. One of the most
I'm going
influential
with
games
A.
of all time.
I'm saying
A. Ooh.
Wow, A, not S. Wow, I gotta
Not
go,
S.
I gotta go S for it.
I go S. The only thing I don't. Mhm.
I didn't even know that. I didn't have any gaming magazines or anything at the time, and I had my PlayStation since launch, and I just remember like I walked into a GameStop or a game. I think it might have been Electronics Boutique, and I just saw I saw it on the shelf. I was like, oh, they made a Castlevania for PlayStation. This is great. And I just bought it, did not know anything about it, and went home, and I was just like, this is amazing. This is Castlevania, but I mean, it was really the game that was not necessarily the first Metroidvania thing, but it was the first one that really had that where it's like, oh, well, you got to go here to get this, to unlock this, to go here, and
Well-
I just was blown the fuck away. I thought it was phenomenal.
Well, yeah, before this game, they called the series Metroid, or the genre
Right,
Metroid.
it was Metroid, and then it was Vania, and then
Yes.
they build a castle.
Symphony put the Vania in that.
Right.
I put it in S with a caveat, and basically saying with the exception of one, of the like Metroidvania games that it came out, like of Castlevania, it's probably aged the poorest.
Mm.
And
Um,
I guess that like I have no problem with it being an S. But after replaying it so many times and playing like the DS ones and the Game Boy ones that basically took the
yeah.
idea from that and improved on them.
Well, with the exception of one, which again we'll get to later.
I have no problem with it being an S, but like it's that game that people always go to, and it's like, there's other Castlevania games.
That's why I
It
say it's aged the poor. It's much better to play like one of the DS games as opposed
Yeah.
to this one, in my opinion. The soundtrack's amazing though. I want to
The
point that at
soundtrack is amazing.
Soundtrack's amazing.
I do like the one Easter egg is if you put the PlayStation disc in a CD player, I forget exactly what it says, but it's like this is a game disc or something like this, but it plays some like random song.
You like
Can't remember.
Castlevania, don't you?
Mhm.
It also has the connection to Metal Gear if you have a save state on it.
The Castlevania DLC really added to Dead Souls and Vampire Survivors. They did add DLC to that game. I have not downloaded it yet. I
I
wasn't
think
big
it
on.
came out.
Oh yeah,
I
they
think it
just
came
did
out on
the
Halloween.
Yeah,
yeah.
I've never got into Dead Souls. Love Vampire Survivors though, but
I did Dead Souls. I wasn't crazy about it, but I was playing it. And then one time I just had like one of those magical because it was uh, a roguelite,
yeah.
and I just had one of those god runs where I got like this amazing weapon
Hmm.
and everything that I was getting, like every time I was just getting like the best rolls and everything, and I just steamrolled the entire game and I was like, "Oh, good, I'm done. I never want to play this again."
Yes, those games
So
are
I
great when you get the items you want.
Right. Because sometimes you're going along and you're playing the game and it's fun, but then you start to get shit rolls and it's like, this isn't fun anymore. Like this, it was always, I got bad rolls. And finally, one time, it just, everything went in my favor and I just blew through the game. And I was like, all right, I beat the game. I got the end. I saw the credits. I'm done.
That's
And then so I know they did the Castlevania thing and I'm like, no, I'm not going back. I
it's
did not like it.
it's why I didn't like Balatro. Everybody was going nuts over that game, and I played it, and I'm like, this is like because I got one like really good like set of cards that got me through the game, and at that point I'm not playing this anymore. This is not fun. This game stinks. I probably pronounced the game wrong, and you guys are looking at me like, "What the hell are you talking
No,
about?"
I know which game you're talking about. I don't even know. I don't know how you pronounce it either, but I know which
It's
one you're
Dark
talking about.
Moon, you dumbass.
Now,
Vampire
Vampire
Survivors. Hmm.
Survivors, I see everybody just losing their mind over it. That's another one, and I'm like, I look at it and I'm like, right? But then somebody in my Discord was saying how it was made by guys who used to develop addictive shit for casinos, and they basically
It's
took that knowledge and made a video game. I'm like, oh,
it's
okay.
yeah. Vampire Survivors also has the old Castlevania music in the new DLC, so a lot of love into it. I will pick it up soon, but I just picked up the Brotato DLC, and I've
Mm.
been playing that. So I've done long Castlevania games. It's distilled dopamine. Yeah, that pretty much.
Right, that's what I've seen a lot of people saying. It's just you sit there and you just,
Yeah,
you know,
you get all the items you need, and then you sit there in the middle of the map. You put the Steam Deck down, or you take your hands off the mouse and keyboard and go do something else, as the points just rack up.
I don't know. I mean, but then again, I'm fucking, you put me in like Stardew Valley and I'm just like, ooh, I'm planting carrots. Like so I get it, but I at least I want like a little bit of game. I want story. I want, I mean, there are fine. There are some games where you just kind of can zone and play, but And I think that one too, I'm willing to kind of give it not the benefit of the doubt, but it's like, it's a $5. Actually I think it's a $4 game, isn't it? So it's cheap,
It's $4.
you
You
know,
could
it's
usually
like,
find
all
it
right,
on sale for like $1. So
exactly. So it's like
and
I'm
it's a very
fine with
good
that.
dollar. The
Yeah.
Right.
dollar will get it along a lot of play.
I mean, I
But
remember
but if you
back, I don't
save like $19,000, you get Dracula X.
Get Dracula X.
yes, you get Dracula X, a physical copy of it. But
Yeah,
I mean,
physical
to
sealed
me,
copy that you can't even play.
I'm thinking back to, here's one for you. I made a game with zombies in it.
Oh
And
yeah, that's on Steam now,
I
by the way, free.
is it?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, I might pick that up.
There was
so.
rumors of online play, but then the guy who was like working on the game stopped working on it. So
Well, he made like, vampires, or not Vampire Survivor, Vampire Smile, was it?
I don't.
He
It's
did
not
the-
It's not the guy who made I made a game with zombies in it. It's a guy who he brought it to Steam.
Oh,
him-
so it's
that
somebody
guy,
else
yeah.
entirely. Okay. But
Uh,
I mean, I used to play, I played that on Xbox just all the freaking time
Yeah.
because it was $1.
it's
you
only
know?
$1, so please, oh please,
Yeah,
play.
It costs $1. I hope you pay it.
Kind of like what was it? What's going on under the blanket? It was $1. I had
What-
fun
What's
with
under the blanket? Yes, I still have it. It's off. It's
Yeah.
off Steam now, but I still have it downloaded on my
I
computer.
have that too. And what was the one where you're the little kid in the shower and you're trying to find your dad?
I,
it.
Oh, you
I
don't
think that
know
was
now?
something in your childhood that you're repressing.
No, it's one of the games
And
that
that's
got
how
banned.
he got banned.
That's one of the games that got banned on you're not allowed to play it on Twitch. You're like, it's a little 8-bit game, you're a little kid and you're in like a gymnasium shower and you're trying to find your dad and there's all these just naked men.
Are you having repressed trauma right
He
now?
certainly
I might be.
is.
It's like I think it's Shower with Your Dad Simulator. I think it's called.
Oh, I gotta go.
Have you been watching Nightmare on Elm Street 2 a lot lately?
Hey, I get that reference. Dr. Gruber seriously is burned out a lot of hours in the game. What's going on, Gruber? Welcome to the thing. I nearly
There's
popped in on
there's
the
something
call,
that,
but
like-
double checked Stream Link first. I mean, you are welcome to join if you want, but
Yeah, man.
you play
Yeah,
Castlevania,
there's
you
somebody that was
get another opinion.
with a Penny Nice being terrible together.
Oh yeah, I mean, God, I think the last time we all got together,
I
was
think we
about
corrupted
a year
him.
ago.
Yeah.
Oh, we
I think
absolutely
we
corrupted.
corrupted him.
We corrupted him when he was like well, you. Well, I think you were.
No,
I
it
think
wasn't
you were
him.
one of-
It wasn't him. I know what you got to talk about, and yeah, it wasn't
No, I
him
was
that I
just
did
gonna
that
say
to.
Patrick was one of the younger ones, but then I think,
no.
but then Dr. Gruber.
No, because I'm only 2 years younger than Keith.
Yeah, Gruber and
Okay.
Scout were the children.
Yeah.
Oh right, yeah. The Scout was
Scout was the one I traumatized for life.
Yeah, Scout traumatized and oh god, I don't remember the other kid's name.
Something about a Scoutmaster Scamdar wants to point out to you.
Wait, hold on. Wait, was it Crinkle Crinkle?
Yeah, yes, it was Crinkle Crinkle in the bathroom stall.
Or you ordered a pizza from somebody, or somebody wanted to pick up a pizza from you?
Yes. Oh yeah. Poor Scout. God, I mean, Scout's probably like late 30s now at this
Yep,
point.
not
Oh,
late. Cause I think Gruber.
Not late.
How old are you, Gruber? You like 35, if I had to guess. 34.
Yeah, I was gonna say Gruber's like 35. I think I asked him the last time we were talking.
And like
then
I said,
just-
but
immedi-
you're welcome.
I immediately was like, oh, 36. I was
36,
just
okay.
like, oh god.
36 now. And like I said,
So-
you're welcome to jump in if you want, but we're just shooting the shit, talk
37
about
this year in a
Castlevania.
row. Dude, oh my god. I mean, I understand time rolls forward, but
Ugh.
it really doesn't seem
Well-
like it was that long ago where we were all just a bunch of fucking dumbasses in a video game forum.
Well, you're what? You're 60 now, right, Cecil?
Fuck you. I'm not as old as you think, but nobody knows how old. Sometimes I don't even know how old I am. Scout was 12 when you
Oh.
were 18, so he's wow. Okay.
I think with the exception of Moon, I think you and I
Yeah.
actually Moon might be Boomer.
Lord Moon is older. Is the oldest.
Yeah, I think he might be Boomer. You and I are X, and then
Yeah, I'm Gen X. I believe he is. I'm pretty sure he's over 60 now, and I'm not
He
making
is.
fun of. I'm just saying I'm pretty sure he's over 60 because he was.
I mean,
in
he's
Desert Storm.
I was
and
gonna say
shit.
he's a Desert Storm vet, so yeah, he's
Yeah.
definitely
You know,
he's got to be
I
at
was
least
I was
60
still
at
in
this
high
point.
school. You know, so wow, I didn't know. I thought so. Patrick, are you and
Me and
Pro
Bridget are
Gamer?
we're both 40.
Well, wasn't going to ask you specifically your age. I thought she was like 2 years. For some reason, I thought she was like 2 years
No,
younger. Okay, so
no,
you're both the same age.
we both joined the 40 club this year.
No.
Ah,
Yuck! Stop it.
it's yuck! Stop it! I'm sorry. I seriously I thought maybe because when I met you, you
At
were
least-
like you were just you
A
like,
child.
you were I mean
We're
yes,
all
because
children when you met us.
We're all real child. I had hair,
Yeah.
you know, like
You, compared to me, you still do.
well, it's this luxurious beard that I was
Yes.
able to grow.
Yeah. And somehow, despite being younger than you, I'm grayer than you too. I don't understand how this happened.
Because
I'm
I dyed
balder
the
and
fuck out of
grayer.
I
I was
dyed
gonna say
it.
just from in gel, beer gel.
I go to a
See-
local friend who is a hair she has a hair salon in her basement, and
Ah.
I say make me look a couple years younger. And she's like,
She just goes,
I'm
"You
not
got a
a-
time machine."
yeah, exactly. She's like, I'm not a miracle worker.
Scammed her. Oh God, I'll be 40 next year.
Oh my
Ooh.
god, it's all downhill. From
Yes, it
there.
is. Once you pass
Although I
that
have to
4-0,
say,
things happen.
Yeah, oof. Things, stuff. So it's like when you're driving down the road and shit just starts falling off your car.
Yes.
You're like, wait, what? Why?
When
What's going on?
when you sneeze, and then the next
Yeah.
morning it's like, man, why does my back hurt?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
I've
bump.
sneezed and I had to go sit down because something popped.
You're driving down the street one day just fine, and all of a sudden your bumper is dragging on the ground. You don't know what happened.
It's been downhill since I turned 25. I would say like things were pretty good up until like 30, and then I'm like, wait a minute.
I had
why-
I had a few good years in my 30s, so
Yeah,
but
but
40
like, I'd
40 was a
sleep-
rough one.
I sleep wrong and I wake up and I can't move my arm. You know?
I'm paralyzed.
Oh, that's been happening to me since I was like 15. I would sleep wrong and wake up and my
Shit,
my
that's
arm would
already
be
happening. My
dead.
shoulders just jank from sleeping on it too much. I have to sleep. If I wake up on my side, then R.I.P. my arm for the day. Like, I have to sleep on my back. But then I start snoring, and Mrs. T gets all mad at me. I wake
the
up.
missus,
I wake up, her, Riker, and Raziel all went downstairs because I was fucking snoring.
the missus she has like Samsung headphones in playing music, and then has earmuffs over those to drown
Wow.
out my snoring.
I will be fair.
I woke up in the middle of the night one time, and she's just got Gilbert Gottfried screaming in her ear because she listens to comedians on Spotify. And I'm sitting there thinking, my snoring is so annoying. She falls asleep to Gilbert Gottfried and not me.
Makes you question life, right?
Seriously. I don't snore often. I only snore usually in like the beginning, like when we're transitioning from summer to winter, because I just get so fucking clogged up. I wake up the next morning, my throat's dry, and I'm blowing graham crackers out of my nose. So, but once we get over this hump, this really sucks. And then once we get past that, then things get back to normal. And but it's just that initial blast where I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't help it. But there are times where Dr. Gruber, I wake myself. I'm like, who's making all that? Oh, that's me.
I've never woken myself up from snoring, thankfully. But
Mm.
all right, where are
All right.
we? Oh,
Well, you know what? We were
The
at
gutter.
Symphony. We were at the gutter, and we were at Soten, and now Castlevania for 64. I have to pee, but I'll be right back.
go ahead. We're at Legends first. That came before
Wow.
64.
Look, we forgot it like everybody else.
Yeah. Well, but I don't believe. Oh God, I just hit my microphone. I don't think Cecil actually played that one, so I think you and I can talk about Legends. It is.
It's
ugh.
forgettable.
I didn't like it at all. But to be fair, when I played it, I did not know you could
Yeah.
use sub weapons because I was collecting the weapons in the stage, and I'm like, why can't I fucking use the axe? I was like, oh, those are legends.
Also, I believe this one isn't canon anymore. Correct?
No, it is not.
Okay.
When Iga took over, he basically said, "Yeah, the Belmont's being like related to Alucard. That's not. We're not doing that."
Because this is the first one with a female main
Mhm.
character, a chosen character.
When it came out, it was the first person to fight Dracula.
Yeah.
So, and then it was retconned when Lament came out, and
Well, I think what also like okay, so this is a very late Game Boy
yeah,
title, but it didn't seem like it improved. Like when Adventure went to Belmont's Revenge, you could tell something like okay,
there was
like
improvement
they
there.
did something like this one, like it went nowhere, and it's
No.
like for
And-
it to come out way later, and there wasn't much improvement. It was just kind of like they were phoning in a game.
And for a portable game, the levels are way too long. If you look at a speedrun at this game, the first level usually takes a speedrunner 5 minutes to complete. That for a portable game is way too goddamn long. I mean, there is a password system, but even still, it's no, don't do that. quick.
Then also,
Mhm.
and has this been re-released on any of the collections?
Not on any of the collections. It's on Switch Online, on the
Okay.
Game Boy thing.
And you can because I was curious because I don't own this one. Like this obviously is a low print game
Mhm.
late in because you're looking at like
It's expensive.
$150-ish dollars.
That's
for
actually
it.
a lot less than I thought it would be. Because it was
Now,
like you said,
that's
late
just game only, not like complete.
Yeah, late Game Boy and low print. So yeah, it's when you consider that.
It's almost like they kind of already knew like
when you consider something like Ninja Gaiden Trilogy on the Super Nintendo is thousands, and it's in the same like boat where it's low print, late release.
Yeah.
So
because probably at that point they were getting ready to transition to everything to Game Boy Color games, so they're like, fuck it.
oh no, this is
Is it color?
It's not color, but it has like if you put it in a super Game Boy, it has like options to mess with the color. So instead of playing on green, you're playing in freaking like red and all that. So it does have some improvements for color, but it's not specifically like a color game. It's not like say, I think Super Mario Land 2 came out with like a color version.
Yeah.
I know Link's Awakening did. Link's Awakening came out with a straight color version. So. But I do know people hacked this, or they didn't hack it, but they made a ROM that it is straight color, and they also improved the speed, which makes the game a lot better. They did the same for Adventure.
Okay. Are we on Castlevania 64?
We're on Castlevania Legends, but we talked about it without you because you said you never played it. So
we just put it in D.
Nah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
For D.
Kid Dracula.
I think that might have been one of the ones that I did play.
Legends?
Yeah.
That was the female.
That's the one where you're the chick, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're all right.
Wow.
Well, we just talked about it without you.
Oh, no, I mean I don't remember a whole lot. I mean I just remember that I played it and I thought it was fine.
I think
So,
that's the
I'm
only
good.
thing people remember about it. Is honestly, it's like, oh well, it's the first game you play as a chick,
Yeah,
straight up.
Yeah.
exactly. So, I mean, I'm fine with it being a D.
See,
That
much
seems about right.
much better game coming up where you play as a chick. So, but moving on. Kid Dracula, Game Boy.
Castlevania Lemon Party.
Yes.
Not play.
Jesus. I don't think anybody's played that. It
Girl.
was never released in America, so it's not on any
Which
of the
one?
collections. Kid Dracula on Game Boy.
Oh God, no, yeah, never.
Oh, goodness gracious. Cough right in the microphone. Anyways, moving on.
Well, you'll feel that in the morning.
Castlevania 64.
Castlevania 64.
This is a tough one for me to rank. Thank you, Scamdar. Yes, I am in fact coughing. I don't
I think
hate it.
I think this falls under that kind of Simon's Quest thing where it gets a lot of bad PR, but it's not good, but it's not as bad as people make it out to be.
The second 64 game that was released improves on this drastically. I don't hate this one. I think that I actually prefer like playing as Reinhardt or Carrie over Cornell, so there is that. But it's dull. I mean, it's probably closest out of the 3D Castlevanias. It is probably the closest to the original style. You don't get these fancy combos. You don't get like magic spells or anything like that. You get your whip and you get your sub weapons.
Mm-hmm.
So
there's a couple things that I want to hit on. I do love the opening violin theme.
oh god, it's fantastic.
Then we're gonna get in like that's the most well. There's other memorable moments in this game, which we will get to in a second. But like that's a good positive moment. I did okay.
Yes,
I
Gaber.
did.
They were skeletons on motorcycles.
We'll get to that. That's on the list. I did like the hedge maze because that was that kept you on your toes. But then you get into like I don't know what if this is good or bad. The skeletons on the motorcycles.
That's the best part of the entire series, if you ask me.
But then there's the most infamous part of this entire game. The nitro.
I was thinking the part where you're climbing on the ledges and you fall down and there's all the clock parts.
That's a clock tower. That's way after the intro.
But you forget about that because of the nitro.
Because
yes,
of the
the
nitro.
clock tower part is the second most annoying thing. But I think the nitro is just
the nitro is not a good idea.
like it in theory it's a good idea, but when you fall off something the size of a street curb and you blow up,
right.
Oh god. While you're dodging the fireballs, and isn't there a moving platform you have to get on as well?
There isn't a moving, but there's falling platforms.
Yeah.
So you can't stay on them for too long. There's also the most minuscule of platforms you have to run across. And then once you get past all of that, you go through the gears, which is just there to waste your time. And then after you get past that, you then have to fight a room of lizards without jumping or getting hit.
Yeah. But there's skeletons on motorcycles.
The skeletons on motorcycles, yes.
And Frankenstein with a chainsaw in his hand chasing you in a hedge maze.
Yes. An Evil Dead reference. And then there's the Tower of Sorcery, which I don't think anybody likes that either. But thankfully, if you're playing as Reinhardt, you don't have to worry about the Tower of Sorcery. That was the crystals.
So, again, like, I guess I just have PTSD of the Nitro. So, like, I beat it, but I don't remember everything about it.
I'm throwing this one in C.
I was gonna say C, where it's not good, but it's not bad.
No. It's the most faithful to the original series Castlevania game there is.
And then also you have to look at it's their first forte into 3D, and a
Mhm.
lot of those early 3D games are just not good.
Yeah, they're like some of
Like,
them they kind of
Meanwhile,
work,
meanwhile,
but
both
yeah.
Mario and Zelda freaking crushed it with their first 3D
yeah,
games.
All right, but that had like
those are the
Nintendo.
shining examples. But look how many
Yes.
bad
Oh
early
yeah.
3D games there are.
Hmm. Yeah, they were like the standouts because they had Nintendo money and like just Nintendo's just magic wand behind both of them.
Well, and then probably a lot of Konami's money probably was more. They probably wanted to stick with PlayStation, possibly. So they probably put a lower team, possibly on
Oh,
the
oh,
Nintendo side.
absolutely. Because they were like, well, we're going to make a Castlevania game. Like, if they would have made it for PlayStation, it would have been darker and edgier, and they would have, know that there was a better chance they'd get a return on investment. But they wanted to make it for Nintendo. Like, well, we should make it for Nintendo, and yeah, they probably gave it to one of their like, you know, uh, one of their B team.
Sorry, I
So
reading sending the missus something. All
hopefully
right.
she's still breathing.
I don't know how she's
Oh.
still breathing, especially since she told me she couldn't breathe like 3 hours ago. So
Jeez.
Right now she's on the floor.
It just-
lips are
He's
blue.
like, I'm talking about Castlevania in here, honey.
All right. Now, with that aside, with 64, now it's good. We get to the game that, in my opinion, is a much better improvement over it. We get Legacy of Darkness, which is basically Castlevania 64.
Special edition.
It's practically the exact same game. But the thing is, I think when it originally came out, like 64, they wanted to get 64 out before the holiday, which they ended up not making because I think it came out in January. So they rushed it. So Legacy of Darkness was basically the game they wanted to make, but like I said, because they rushed 64 to get it out before the holiday, they weren't able to make Legacy of Darkness. So they just released it the following Christmas. I don't know why they just didn't.
So yeah, Nintendo, 64 came out in January of 99,
Mhm.
and then Legacy came out in December of
Yeah.
99. So yeah, I pretty most likely you're right because
Yeah.
it really is. It's essentially like Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Yeah.
It's the same
A
game
little. There's
with like.
more to Legacy of Darkness than just straight.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Turbo.
I'm just, but it's
There's a new character, but she's got a new hat.
she's got a new hat.
The levels,
Malibu Stacy.
all the levels, despite being basically the same, like names and all that, they're all different. So you
Right.
still go through like the Forest of Silence and the castle wall and all that, but it's a different layout. So it is a
And
different
the
game.
Controls are tighter.
Yes.
It definitely, but I think it's kind of
There's no nitro part.
No,
And
yeah,
in the first run, anyways, once you beat the game, you can play as a character who can then unlock the Reinhardt and Carrie, and they bring the nitro part back because it was
why
so
not?
popular the first time, apparently.
I do wonder, like, do they have the sales numbers? Because I can't imagine, like, most people probably bought, Castlevania 64 because it was like, oh my god, Castlevania
Yeah.
on Nintendo 64, and then
And
it was
like
not-
less than a year later, and it's like, nah, I'm not falling for that shit
Yeah.
again.
exactly, not gonna, and but then it's like, no, it's the better game. It's like, yeah, sure.
Sure.
It's a better game. Doesn't mean it's anything past B, but it is a better game.
Well, you know
Yeah.
what? Sometimes that's all you need is a B. Now, both of these, I will be fair. I never played either of these on the actual hardware. I played both of these emulated.
Ooh. They do not run well emulated.
That's kind of
Yeah.
the thing.
Well,
so-
most 64 games are kind of iffy emulated.
Yeah, they do not. I tried to do Legacy of Darkness on my stream one time, and it. I am fortunate enough to have a decent machine. It still chugged.
Mhm.
Like it was rough. Yeah, I have a i9 with a 3080 Ti with 16 RAM, and it still had trouble playing freaking Legacy of Darkness. I don't know what they did to the 64 to keep it from freaking being emulated, but Nintendo hit it out of the park with that one.
Yeah.
Nerd, shut up.
Because you can like
you wish you had my
can.
PC.
I mean, I have an I have an easy like the Dolphin emulates
Yeah.
Wii games like wonderfully.
Yeah.
And Wii is, Wii and Wii U shit is, the generations after the 64.
Mhm.
And it's, cartridges are supposed to be easier to emulate. And I don't know why like 64 is like, I mean, there are some games
It's
that you can play, but a lot of them are
it's
just
also why Nintendo didn't get that many third-party people to make games on the 64 is because it was a universal thing, but the Nintendo 64 was a nightmare to program on.
yeah.
So yeah, that probably
Still
had
some
something to do
awesome
with it.
games that
Oh yeah,
fucking Blast Core,
Blast Core, the
like
Banjo games, Jet Force
Gold-
Gemini,
Jet Force
Gemini.
Gemini, Conquer.
You said Blast
I
Core,
guess
right?
because I guess because yeah. I mean Rare. I mean they knew how to program on there. So
Yeah.
I mean
I noticed
I think
all
we're
we
just
named
naming
were
all these
rare games. Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, it's not the 64 had great titles. Rare just made great
It's
titles.
just that
Rare
Rare
made a
knew how to
lot of
Rare knew how to optimize the 64, and I'm trying to look on my shelf because I still have some, but I don't remember.
Shadows of the Empire wasn't rare, and it was a good game.
Nope, that was LucasArts. Um,
Oh right, yo fuck yeah, that
Resident Evil
was
2, the superior version, was on the 64.
Yeah, which is amazing that somehow the better version of 2 is the 64 version.
yeah.
Rogue Squadron. What? That
Yeah,
was GameCube,
LucasArts.
wasn't it?
No, there was a Rogue
No.
Squadron for 64.
Was there? Okay.
Oh wait, there was what happened. I think what you're thinking of, Rogue Squadron on the 64, it was broken up into a bunch of different things. Whereas then they did do a GameCube one, but it
That
was
was
more
Rogue
of
Leader. It was Rogue Leader on GameCube.
right, and it was more like the first like the first part of that was with the in Hoth and all that. And then I think they kind of, it was a little bit more of that, but I'm trying to let's see.
I don't know. Anybody who watches my streams regularly knows I don't know the first thing about Star Wars, so
Never seen it.
nah,
Yeah,
me either.
I like
I'm not lying though.
I watched the first one and then that was about it. Wait, wasn't the first what was the Force Awakens? I think that was the first one.
That was the
Phantom
Acolyte.
Menace.
Oh,
The Acolyte.
right, you're right, the Phantom Menace. Yeah.
That was the Acolyte.
Acolytes.
The power of many.
Oof.
Okay, back to Castlevania.
Yes. Back to Castlevania.
Let's see.
Castlevania Legacy of Darkness. B, it improved on the game quite a bit. I actually do enjoy Cornell's story a little bit with his rival Ortega. And yeah, I don't know where else to go with that. I mean,
Did he make tacos?
He did not make tacos, no.
No. Oh,
I know
D-
Ortega from Dragon Quest III, so screw you all. I'm the Dragon Quest nerd. How many of those games have you played, assholes?
Not many.
Not many. Not for long.
No.
No. I'll tell you what, this is probably gonna hurt your soul. The most the Dragon Quest game that I played the most is Dragon Quest Builders 2.
Of course it was. Minecraft sloth.
And I've actually never played I played Minecraft Dungeons, but never played like Minecraft proper.
Even Gamer is upset with you.
Hey, she
Jesus
played a lot
Christ.
of 8.
She played 4 too. She always
Yeah.
claimed that was her favorite. 4 is good. I don't hate 4. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but 4 is good. Poochie, Poocha,
Puchinsky.
Puchinsky, yes.
I seriously,
I
mean,
I
I
love
played,
that gif, that emoji.
That's one of my favorites. But yeah, I played a few. I've never beaten a Dragon Quest. I played a bunch of them. I think I played more Breath of Fire, and I've actually beaten more Breath of Fires than I've beaten Dragon Quest.
You got the censored remasters coming.
Mm,
Yes, Dragon Quest 3.
yeah. Wonderbar.
They edited some of the art for some bizarre freaking reason. Never a problem before, but all of a sudden now it's an issue.
Because everybody got not everybody, but a certain segment of the population has a stick up their ass, and everybody has to fucking kowtow to them. So, we don't want to offend. Meanwhile, like I love the, we don't want to offend women, and it's like women are the ones that want like sexy, like costumes and shit more than, I mean, do men want them? Yes, but I mean, it's the women that are the ones that are doing that, and it's just funny that the shit that they're censoring is just so dumb. They're like, I was laughing because they just said, I didn't even know this. They wanted to do Who Framed Roger Rabbit Part 2, and Robert Zemeckis said that no, it'll never happen because they won't allow Jessica Rabbit, to be in the movie the way that she is.
Don't blame
And
her. She's just drawn that way.
Exactly. But then they're like, you want to see what Disney did to Jessica Rabbit? Go look at what she's at the Disney theme park. They have her in a trench coat. I was like, wait, what?
I don't need to do that.
But I mean, it just goes. I
like living in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah,
with that kind of stuff.
When we didn't have any of this kind of nonsense.
Because Toriyama is gone and they couldn't wait to dance on his grave. Yeah, that's what it seems like, because 11 came out and nobody had any issues with 11.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Toriyama dies, and all of a sudden all these issues are happening with the art.
Yeah, they hired...
I had Dragon Balls hitting the same treatment, but... whatever. Moving on.
Moving on, we'll sit here and bitch about everything.
Yes, we will. Castlevania... Speaking of stinking, Castlevania Circle of the Moon.
I didn't think it was all that bad.
Oh... You need to.
I take it.
You need to play it again.
2 big disagrees.
Yeah, you got to play that again.
I did. I played it recently. I played I played on the Switch.
Now here is my. I've only played it on the original Game Boy Advance. I haven't played it on any of the collections. So my recollection is from an original Game Boy Advance because it was a launch title.
Yeah.
The launch title that launched 1,000 Game Boy Lights.
Yeah, because it just wasn't fun.
It's not.
And now, granted, I am going off of, I'm trying to see this while holding a light on the Game Boy Advance that puts a giant glare on the damn thing. And I don't know, I just not have fun with it.
Even now on the Advanced Collection, it's not good.
And I guess it's coming off that hot, like, okay, yes, it's a Metroidvania game, but I guess coming off the high of Symphony of the Night, and that was the follow-up. It's like, ugh. Like, granted, I know it's on an inferior console, but like, just how Nathan Graves, is that the guy?
That's Nathan Graves.
How he moves just looks wonky.
Mm-hmm. Especially when you run. He runs at like 2 frames per second.
Yeah. It's just not a good first outing on the Game Boy
we,
Advance.
we've already discussed the graphics, how they were too dark when it first came out. It is obviously improved on the Advance because it's not dark. So, the graphics still aren't pretty, but for a launch Game Boy Advance title, I can forgive that. The soundtrack is extremely disappointing, which I think it only has 3 original songs and everything else is a remix from another game.
I can't even remember the music from it.
They had the opening song, which they had the opening like what we'll call it Nathan Graves theme. I don't know what else to call it, but they have that song, and they have the final Dracula fight is original. I think there's another song that's original, but after that, it's is a remix of the Art Tower from '64, which is a remix from something from Rondo. There's Vampire Killer at one point makes an appearance. I think Aquarius makes an appearance some point. Big Battle makes an appearance. The final boss theme from Dracula's. I'm just naming the songs, and what the fuck am I doing? It's all remixes, so just leave it at that. The game.
I was just gonna say I didn't play it at launch. I actually played it a while later on the improved on the backlit Game Boy Advance, and so that I just thought it was like cool, and I think I bought it like really cheap used, and I played it, and I remember like enjoying it. And I mean, it wasn't great, but I was just like, it's a little fun, Castlevania to play on the go. And then I played it again recently. I didn't get particularly far into it because I went to the much superior Game Boy Advance game, but we'll talk about that.
We'll get to those later.
Yeah, we'll get to
and
that.
And then from what I remember, unless you started cheesing the game, it had a pretty hefty difficulty.
Oh my god, I was
just
about to mention that. It's like they took one of the few criticisms of Symphony of the Night where the game was too easy. And like, oh well, see what we can do.
Yeah.
Like unless
all those potions you had in Symphony of the Night, nah, you don't need those.
I just particularly remember like the big hanging Minotaur statue boss.
Aldramech, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just remember that
the game did not scale very well.
Dead dragons were way worse. That was the 2 dragons that will whip their heads around and friggin' hit you with it. And then, ironically enough, Death is the next boss, and Death is a fucking cakewalk in that game. But that's the one where he turns into the turtle and has the friggin' scythe arms. Yeah.
I don't even remember.
Yeah.
I just remember there was one like hack or glitch or something with like a giant bone or something.
Oh, that's the skeleton. It's not a hack. It is a mechanic in the game.
One of those ways to cheese the game.
Yeah. It's the Pluto and the Darkness card, and it turns you into a skeleton. And basically, I think 1 in every 100 bones you throw is a giant bone that deals 9,999 damage to anything. So basically, if you watch a glitchless TAS of it, they usually will do that and basically just kill bosses in one hit as they throw giant bones everywhere. The glitch itself is basically just like, as soon as you get 2 cards, you make the combo, activate it, and then press start really quickly, and then go back into it, change it to the cards you want, and it'll transfer to that card combination. So you'd get the skeleton early. But regardless, we're getting too in-depth of a game that is realistically
that we're getting in a
C at best.
I'm like, I understand. I'm fine. I would say C, but I'm fine if it goes D.
We're going D because I enjoyed it when it first came out, but replaying it, I did not like it whatsoever. And speaking of something that I only played once, and actually I don't know why I'm saying that because we weren't just talking about that. Next game. Oh, moving on. Jesus, I'm getting tired. Castlevania Chronicles. This is a remix of it. Ooh, you still have it. That's a lot of money right there you got in your hand. I think only 10,000 copies of that were made. if I recall. I could be
I
wrong.
had a-
It's a very low print game.
Yeah.
I had a friend of mine that he was just doing some house cleaning, and he didn't feel like putting shit up on eBay and whatnot. So I bought that and a bunch of other stuff from him, and that by far was. I mean, I paid. I didn't pay like a lot. I think I only gave him like $20 for it, but I gave him what he asked for.
What is
Now,
it
That's
going
what I
for
paid
now?
for it at GameStop.
That was like 10 years ago. So I don't know.
Oh, it's not as bad as I thought. $160 on eBay.
Okay, well, it's
So
still
it's not as
It's
bad as I
still-
thought. It's
still
still a lot
pretty
of
up
money,
there.
but
Yeah.
It's the first canon appearance of Simon with pinkish reddish hair,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's
Which-
got that going for it.
which like I remember when I first saw that, I'm like, what? Like it just caught me off guard,
Mm-hmm.
I
and I guess that made it canon. Depending on who's drawing him.
I don't really have an
Yeah.
opinion one way or another on this one.
I just think it was really odd that we had Symphony of the Night
Yeah.
in '97, and it was amazing. And it was like, oh, we're gonna have we got another PlayStation. What?
It's another retread of one.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
It varied up a little bit, but it was all right.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it being very difficult.
It was a
well.
very hard game, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I beat it with any item other than the herb. Because I needed to keep healing myself because of how difficult the game was.
If I had to put it somewhere, I'd say C, where it's not good, it's not bad.
I don't remember enough of it. I'll throw it in C.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
It's one of those ones that honestly probably should have been on the Dominus collection as opposed to Haunted Castle.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
whatever.
because I mean, I don't think that's one. I don't think that has been on any of the other collections, right?
It's only ever been re-released once, and it was re-released on the PlayStation because it's the original version of it was on the whatever system the MSX was. Master System.
It was the X68000. It was
Yeah, it was a Japan only game,
Akamaju Dracula,
which
is
is
the remake of the original Dracula.
Castlevania. Yeah.
Mm.
So moving on to bigger and better things. Harmony of Dissonance.
This is my favorite of the Game Boy Advance games.
Not my favorite, but I played it later. Like, I never played it when it first came out. I played this on the Advance Collection. I didn't play it when it first came out because I remember when it first came out, it did not get good reviews. I don't know
Really?
why. Because I played it
remember
and it was
Vic-
fantastic.
Vic reviewed this. Vic reviewed this on Judgment Day,
and probably
I'm-
gave it a high score, I'm guessing.
I'm pretty sure he gave it like a 9.
Yeah. Oh, it deserves a 9. It's a phenomenal game. I will say this. Forward dash in this is a game changer.
Mhm.
I had so much fun with the foot. The jumping was awkward with this game. I think that's why I don't throw it in the S. It really took some time getting used to the jumping mechanics in this game. But
Mhm.
once I got used to it and got used to the forward dash, it's one of the funnest in terms of like movement of any of the Castlevania games.
Yeah,
My own
I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of the soundtrack on it.
that is a problem. The soundtrack isn't. It's tinny and it's not like the most memorable songs. I think Justei's theme is the only like theme that's good. And by the way, I have no idea how to pronounce his name. I think it's
heard it-
Justei.
I've heard it as Justa.
Justa.
I've heard it as
Just a-
juice, just like juice.
It's
Juiced.
probably
It's
just.
probably Steve.
It's Steve.
Bob Belmont.
Yeah,
Stephen
see, they
Belmont.
throw the E on there, and everybody's like,
Oh.
Justei?
Just. But they don't like.
Brad
See, they should
Delay.
put the little. They need to put the little tilde. Ooh, he must be Italian.
The tilde.
Yeah, they need to put the little fucking tilde on there.
It's
But
pronounced
yeah,
thermometer.
I've heard I've always just said Justa or just
Juice Day.
You
I don't
know,
know.
that one Belmont, the one from Harmony of Dissonance, that one.
Yes.
yeah.
The, the
Well, the one who looks a lot like Alucard.
Yeah.
yes.
Discount Alucard.
Discount Alucard. I the other issue that I have with the game is it's easy. Like it's like
But
again
it's
they
fun.
did it is
Which
very fun.
I'm kind of, you know what?
Well,
Some of them make them too fucking hard. Like
Yeah,
give me one
Circle
where
of the
I'm like-
Moon.
yeah.
they took the criticisms probably from Circle of the Moon. Like,
Yeah.
all right, we need to tone it back, guys.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it was easy, but as far as like out of the gate before any upgrades or anything like that, it is by far the best Castlevania game gameplay wise. Because you got
on
the
the
forward
Game Boy.
dash and back dash like right from the start. I don't remember if you get double jump right at the beginning of the game.
No,
I don't think
so.
you do, but yeah, you start off with the dashes, and that's like I said, out the gate, it's probably the best playing one. I mean, the other ones are obviously better once you start unlocking abilities, but so I throw it an A.
I say
Yeah.
B.
say B?
I'd go A.
There we
I'd
go.
go A.
A. Bad soundtrack can't bring this one down.
You can't win them all.
No. Oh yeah, and speaking of not winning them all, we'll just D for Aria, right? Nobody likes that game. And we already made those jokes with Symphony. Never mind. It's an S. Yes, it is. Shut up. Aria is fantastic. It is by far my favorite Game Boy Advance game.
I'm gonna
But
go
The best of the three. I will say it's the best of the three.
Absolutely the best of the three.
I don't know. I'm gonna go B because I liked
Well, you suck.
I do.
See,
It
I'm
has
gonna say
nothing to do
B.
with it.
I'm gonna say B as well. Like
All of you,
It's
both of you
good.
suck.
I like Harmony
But-
and Dissonance more. I can't help it.
But
this to me was the first one where, like, yes, I know the twist. You're not. I don't know.
you
It
can
doesn't have
spoil
that
things.
Castlevania feel.
Yeah, it
Mhm.
does. It's got the only thing that's not Castlevania about it is he doesn't have a whip.
Right.
And
I
they
mean,
have-
and, honestly,
And you have Julius in there with the whip, so it's fine. Not to mention that the fight with him alone is enough to bump this up like several
Plus-
ranks.
Plus, also, it takes place in the future, correct?
Yeah.
99. So technically not the. Well, no. 99
I thought it
is
was like-
no 99 is when Julius's timeline happened. So this was 2015, I think.
2035.
2035. Okay.
Mhm.
Never mind. How the fuck did Julius get so freaking? He looks like he's in his 30s in Aria, and
He
he's
drank
apparently
an
fought
or-
Dracula
he
in
drank an
99.
Orange Julius.
Did you stay?
Did you stay?
Yeah, an Orange Juice.
There.
The collecting with Aria is fantastic. The music in Aria is fantastic. The graphics in Aria are fantastic. The storyline is fantastic. It's probably Aria. The Sorrow series is probably, or this game, I should say, is probably my favorite story in the entire Castlevania mythos.
Mm.
I love this one so much. What did you say?
B.
No, it's not a
B.
B.
It's a
Aria
B.
is an easy S.
Okay, I'll give you an A on it.
It's
Even though I wanna
up
say
there
B.
with up there with Symphony.
Wow.
It's
all right.
possibly
Yeah.
better than Symphony.
Oh, now you're being nuts.
It's all the combinations of moves and abilities you can eventually do once you start getting all the souls. It's like the possibilities are endless as far as the gameplay goes with this game. And once you get Black Panther, I mean, that's way later in the game, but once you get that soul, you just rip through the castle and friggin' annihilate everything. I'm not going to convince you on S. I got that.
No. I want to give it a B, but I'll give you an A on it.
Yeah, I'll let you have an A.
Fine. By the way, it probably replaced Dracula. It was probably the one that replaced Dracula's Curse as my favorite in the series. That's why it hurts me to throw it in A. Arya is so good. Speaking of not good, though, we're on Lament of Innocence, a.k.a. Castlevania Devil May Cry, or Castlevania May Cry, because that's all
Yes,
this is.
Whereas we talked about Lords of Shadow being God of War clone.
That is
Devil May Cry
Devil
clone.
May Cry
this is
clone.
the Devil May Cry clone.
And the worst part about it is that God of War has its own, like, the style is different, like the setting is different enough in God of War and Castlevania where it's like you can tell the difference. That's not the case here. Devil May Cry and Castlevania have very similar aesthetics. So when you just take the gameplay from Devil May Cry and just throw Castlevania name on it, it doesn't seem like there's any difference other than the fact that Lament of Innocence is just boring as all hell.
Well, I think part of it is all the maps. There's nothing in them. They're
Nope.
empty rooms. So basically, every room you go into is just an empty room.
Yes.
And it gets old after a while. But I don't know. Like, I think this is there hadn't really been. I think this one nailed a little bit better that 3D style of Castlevania.
I think as far as atmosphere, yes. I think as far as gameplay, like I said, it's Devil May Cry. So it's not Castlevania.
There were a lot of Devil May Cry clones that came out around that time.
We'll get into another one later.
But I like it for what it is. It's not bad. I'm wanting to say B, but I know you're not going to give me B.
I'll give you C.
We'll see what Cecil says. I want to give it a B, but I will settle on a C.
I would give it a B too, because I think it is a fun Devil May Cry clone, but not a good Castlevania game.
I beat Devil May Cry. I didn't get bored with Devil May Cry by the end. I got bored with this by the end. And I think one of the things that really sticks out that they shouldn't have done that they've done was they made it more Mega Man style when it came to like selecting the levels. They like took the Belmont Revenge style where they basically just had 5 levels. And the real issue with it is all 5 levels look exactly the same. This one's got vines. Oh, great, yay. But there's water in this one. Ooh, great.
From what I remember reading, because what's his name? That pretty much was head of designing all of them at this time. He would be able, because look at his success with the Game Boy titles at that time. He could bust out a game that would be under budget, would get good reviews, and make lots of money. So they just decided, well, hey, we're just not going to give him a budget to make a good game, because he's done it all in the past. And that's why that game came out the way it did, because he didn't have
a
big budget. They'd pretty much already set him back in the hole, and he got out what he did. If he would have had a big budget on it,
or even like a decent
I think it would have been phenomenal. But
like
he
had the budget.
He got out what he did.
He had the budget with the second one. But again, we'll get to in a minute.
Because from what I remember, Lament of Innocence got decent reviews.
7s. So yeah, I looked it up. It was 7s. So I mean, there weren't
7s.
There wasn't any like there weren't 5s, and there weren't like that many 10s or 9s. So
back when reviewers actually gave legit ratings, but we're not getting into
that. We're getting.
But like a 7 meant like people didn't freak out with a 7. They're like, oh well, that means it's probably a good, decent game. Not it's terrible. It's a 7.
Yeah, it's not game of the year, but it's fun.
Devil May Cry got 9s. So, not 2,
because
but 1. 1 and 3 did.
because they were innovative.
Yeah.
Mm. So
That
C?
makes-
B.
B.
We got 2 B's on it.
Fine. B. Oh, and let's talk about one of the biggest drop-offs in the entire series. Dawn of Sorrow, which was Castlevania taking an anime approach with their series, which may have been one of the worst decisions they have ever made. the art.
And now notice I have this version of it,
Mhm.
not the whatever greatest hits that they take this picture and put it on, like shrink it down on another cartridge.
Yes.
Which
it's
it's
the
like
stupidest one. Do you
Yeah,
have
and
that
it's
one
like-
too? Just so you can show it off?
No, I only
Oh.
have this one.
All right.
I have the legit one, not the. I guess it's a greatest
I don't-
hits version of
I
it.
don't know. Knowing you, you may have had both.
No, I've got the greatest hit. I've got both versions of Symphony in the Night, but I don't have both versions of Dawn of Sorrow.
You don't need both versions of Dawn of
I
Sorrow.
know. I
I will say this about Dawn of Sorrow. The gameplay is there. It's still it's basically an improved version of Aria, but it takes a step back in just about every other direction. Like the story
I
the
think
story is not good.
the drastic art change.
Yeah. That's painful.
Because while the twist in Aria is Soma is Dracula or whatever, I can't
Yeah.
remember exactly.
He was
Whereas
the
this one-
reincarnation of Dracula.
Where it's like, oh, okay, well that's, but now it's this one, and it's like we already know the twist.
Yeah, there's no twist in this one. The big
Yeah.
twist is that Dimitri doesn't die, and in fact his soul is just absorbed into Soma, where he's able to take all of Soma's abilities and turn himself into what he turns himself into at the end of the game.
So
That's dumb.
kind of much like Circle the Moon. The first outing on the DS isn't the good one.
No.
It's all right.
And it had the
It's
and it had
okay.
the seal system, which just stinks.
Oh, we'll get into that for maybe besides Alucard getting rammed into the Netflix show.
Oh God, season 3 didn't happen.
Yeah.
Season 4 did though. Season 4 is awesome. Well,
Yeah,
I
but
shouldn't
see, I
say
had a
awesome, but season 4 was great.
See,
Good.
I had the bad taste from season 3, and it's like I'm not doing 4.
Malcolm McDowell is death. That's reason
Yeah,
enough to
but-
see 4.
Yeah, but some of the animation in 4 is
It's
it's
a
hit or
step
miss.
down.
Yes, it is
Like
definitely a step
there's
down.
some that looks good, but then there's some that looks bad. It's like, why isn't there consistent animation? But anyway, that's different. That's
Yeah.
a whole nother story.
Yes, Dawn of Sorrow, I don't like the art style change. The soundtrack isn't as good. And to go to one of the biggest problems of launch DS titles,
We have to have this gimmick in here.
forcing touchscreen stuff in a game is... There was a lot of games at that point that were ruined because of that. Mario 64 DS was an abomination to play because you had to
Yeah, but
move the camera with the
But
touchscreen.
some of the mini games in Mario 64
Yes.
were amazing. With
Yes,
the
they
DS
are.
thing.
But I'm pretty sure they were in other Mario games after that, so you could have just bought those ones.
Mhm.
But no, B at best. I would even possibly put it in C. I think the gameplay carries it a bit. I think the gameplay
I'd say
carries
C.
Dawn a little bit.
I would give it C.
C?
It's my least favorite of the DS ones.
I don't know if it's least favorite, but it is. It's not. I mean, like I said, the gameplay is there. It's still a fun game to play. It's just not. Like the story is not good. The art's not good. The freaking music subpar.
C.
I'll throw it in C. I'll concede.
Yeah, see.
I'll concede. I'll throw that on C. Anyways, up next, Curse of Darkness. This is one I did not play when it first came out, but I have been playing recently. I'm in the middle of it, so I can't really give a true formulated opinion, but as I'm playing it, like now, it is far and away the best 3D one. Like by leaps and bounds. I am enjoying the hell out of this game.
It is fun.
I think the problems with Lament of Innocence are improved here. The biggest improvement is just basically giving you the options of weapons. Whereas with Lament of Innocence, you only have the whip for major storyline reasons. Curse of Darkness, since you're not a Belmont, you're not beholden to the whip. You can use swords, axes, spears, whatever. So, and I'm finding that while all the weapons are basically, there's still like combos, you just press mashing X. They do, like, some swing faster than others, some swing harder than others, and so on. So there's enough variety there where it will keep it fresh. I'm finding, as I'm playing through the game, I am finding the environments are starting to get a little dull. It started out great, but then
It kind of falls into that laminate. You're in
Yeah.
an empty room.
you're another empty room. Not as bad as Lament. Like, there's at least
Yeah.
enemies in hallways with this game.
Yeah.
But I mean, a week ago when I was first playing it, I would have thrown it an A. But as I'm starting to play it more and more, it's slowly dropping down. I think it's probably going to land around where Lament is landing. But at the end of the day,
I mean, yeah, I think B
I would
is
say
fair.
I'd say C, but I can give it a B.
it's better than Lament.
Yeah.
It is better than Lament. All the problems that were in.
I guess you could say it's kind of the 64 in Legacy of Darkness, where maybe if given more time to cook, Laminate would be better.
Mhm.
This is kind of that improved version of it.
Yeah, this is the one
Right.
when you was saying if he had a budget, and yeah,
Yeah.
he had a budget with this
I
one.
think, and then also I think also with this one, this was the first one on Xbox as well. I think it was
Mhm.
released on Xbox and PS2.
Yes, it
Really? Oh,
was.
okay, I only have the PS2 version.
I have the PS2 version, but I believe it was on Xbox as well.
Yeah, you are correct.
I have the pirate version.
Except in Japan, it was
Yeah.
released.
In Japan,
It-
yes.
It was
Got it
PS2 in
imported.
America and
Hey,
and everywhere else, and then
I see
Xbox
some
just.
flashing lights in your window. Might want to close the blinds.
Look, I didn't say I didn't buy it. I bought it, and I bought
just have
it
your
at
copy.
one point. Yes, you have my copy. I gave it
have
to
your copy.
you. Moving on before I get arrested.
We gotta wrap this up. The police are knocking at
Yeah.
the door.
Well, I would knock, but then I would make the dogs lose their mind. Portrait of Ruin. The game when nobody. Damn it, Cecil. The game when no one can remember the characters' names. Look how the Nintendo copter is circling. Nintendo had nothing to do with Curse of Darkness. Don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you're gonna shoot it down.
Yes.
It's
I
an
had a
S.
lot of fun switching
It's
back
an
and forth.
S
It's not an S in any way,
It is an
shape, or
S,
form.
because here, let me explain. It's of the 3 DS ones, I think it's the most innovative. The dual team up, where you simultaneously can switch people and do team up maneuvers. Innovative. It also continues the Bloodline storyline, which explains a lot of the canon event of the Belmonts and the whip. I love it. It's an S.
Cecil?
I was gonna say A, but I think he might have won me over to push it to S, because it is really fun.
I can.
It is very innovative.
I give
and
the gameplay. I'll give the gameplay, and it has a much better soundtrack than Dawn of Sorrow. That's for damn sure. The art style of this is somehow worse than
No,
Dawn of
see, I
Sorrow.
think the art. I think the art style is better than Dawn. It's
know.
not amazing. I will say that, but I think it is
and if
better.
And if Dawn of Sorrow was like the introduction to anime storylines of Castlevania, this one went full hilt into the standard shonen genre that plagues so many generic animes and movies and games.
You talking about the Japanese schoolgirl and the broody maid hero?
The broody
I don't know what you're
try
talking-
hard hero who will never give up. The spunky, like, don't undermine me, overconfident female.
Look, I know you're not gonna give it an S.
No
Give it an A.
tropes at all with this game.
Just give it. I know you won't give it an S, even though it deserves it.
I
And two out of 3 people say S, but
give.
you won't give it an S.
I'll give it the
give it an A.
give it the gameplay. I'll give it the soundtrack. It's not my favorite soundtrack, but I'll give it the soundtrack that's better than Dawn of Sorrow. I will not give it the art style. I'll not give it the storyline. But I will concede, give it an A based on one thing that I kind of slipped my mind. It probably has the best boss battles in the entire series. So I will go ahead and give you A in that regard.
This is all because we gave Arya an A that you refuse to give it an S. That is what it is. Bitterness has set in.
I'm not at all a bitter human being. I don't know what you're talking about. But I liked Portrait when it first came out. I really did.
I was honestly surprised that Cecil, because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna say this is S, and I'm just gonna get laughed at.
No, this one I replayed it recently, and I'm like, this is still fun.
I couldn't get over the story. I really couldn't. I just kept groaning and like rolling my eyes at the next stupid cliche.
Hush you. Hush you. I hope they rush you and put the cuffs on tight.
But like I said, probably the best boss fights in the entire series. So I will give you an A.
No.
I don't think any of us played the mobile game, so I'll just go ahead and throw that in not played.
Yeah, no.
Order of Shadows, yeah.
And even looking up stuff for it,
I found
game
nothing.
I saw a little brief gameplay, and it's like, but then again, I'm thinking like cell phones at that time, ugh, it's terrible.
But just leave it in not played. We can't give it a fair
not
grade.
played.
Dracula X Chronicles, which is the PlayStation portable version of Rondo of Blood, and the first time people have actually played Rondo Blood. It is also, well, not the last release of it because of the PlayStation 4 version, but it is the final release of Rondo of Blood as of now, because the PlayStation version is pretty much a port. Not as good as the original, but still solid.
But here is my controversial take.
Controversy?
Symphony of the Night is included on this.
No, it isn't.
Hold on. This is why this whole thing gets lumped into D tier. Symphony of the Night is on this, but they redubbed the voice overs. So
they changed it.
Yes, they ruined the speech.
Right.
So it is D tier.
All the speeches.
Yeah, they got rid of the whole. Yeah, it's not. What
they
does
made
a
it
man?
broad. Yeah, it's D. D just for that.
D.
All right, fine. I tried playing
another one. I thought I would get laughed at for saying that it's D tier.
It's not. I mean, the Rondo version of the game is still solid. It's not as good as the original, but it's still.
But they ruined
solid.
They ruined one of the most memorable things.
They did ruin Symphony, yes. With the
They did it dirty.
Not only the not only the voice acting, but they also did things to like the graphics and whatnot that, like, they put this solid outline around Alucard and Richter for some bizarre reason.
And then kind of that thing that falls under the Mirrors of Fate thing, where they do that 2.5 3D type thing.
Oh, that's probably what I'm. Oh, with the original game, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, no, just for the you touched greatness of that voice work. Now here, this is sort of semi-related, but if you look at Resident Evil 1 and then the GameCube remake, it's understandable why they changed it, because it works. So to sound like a hypocrite, it was a totally different game.
Right.
Mhm.
That's the thing. It was
So-
a different game. It was different graphically. Different. Yeah. It was a new. Almost. So to keep the old voiceovers, it wouldn't have made sense.
No,
D tier.
I'll give it D, because it would have gone in C probably for me. So D is fine. And now for the real best DS Castlevania game, Order of
Yes.
Ecclesia.
I will give it an A.
I will give it an S.
I will give it an S.
Okay,
Order-
I will not argue. I will give it an S.
Order of Ecclesia is great, and I did not know how to pronounce that word until recently when I replayed it and they said it. So I'm glad I'm able to
Because-
pronounce it properly now.
Hmm.
I would have given it an S or an A, because it could go either one. But what I liked about it, while it is a Metroidvania game, they also kind of implemented levels. So you weren't, well, I have to get to the main hall of the castle. Okay, I've got to go through the library, down the black hallway. It's like, oh, I need to go to the swamp. Bam, I'm at the swamp.
Mm-hmm.
So while it was a Metroidvania game, it also seemed like a open world game to
I
an
fe-
extent.
I felt like it was a combination of both worlds. It was the first half of the game is the straightforward level after level, whereas the second half of the game was the more open-ended, exploring the castle and
Yeah.
Yeah,
come back to a
and-
place later when you have the
and I
item you
guess-
need.
Canonically, since Legends doesn't exist, this would be the first game with a female lead
Mhm.
character. A
Yes, it
badass
is.
A
Female main
badass,
character as
sexy
well.
female lead.
Yes, who's not a Belmont.
And I guess to sound like a hypocrite, not even though it's not the typical Castlevania weaponry, it works. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Because she's not
Mhm.
using a whip or anything. She's using spells and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it works.
It absolutely does. And the fact that you have to earn it from enemies and absorb whatever the hell it is that they're using. I guess they're
Yeah.
spells. I mean, you
Mhm.
absorb glyphs, they
Glyph-
call it. But,
Glyphs is
yes.
the.
but no, it is
No,
definitely best soundtrack of the DS games, best gameplay of the DS games. Not the best boss battles, though. I would say the boss
There's a
battles in
few-
this. There's a couple of memorable ones, but for the most part, they're honestly not that good.
No.
Especially when coming off of Portrait, which, like I said, is the best in the series. So
Like there were a lot of, I guess you would say, gimmicks with it. So you
Mhm.
had to switch the glyphs around, where you had the magnetic pool for certain things.
Oh. And no more anime style freaking graphics either. Forgot about that. They went back to the traditional, like, I wouldn't say lifelike, but
It's that
the Castlevania look.
fantasy-esque
Yeah.
gothic type artwork.
Yeah. Not the cherry fucking anime schoolgirl freaking bug-eyed nonsense. God, I hated fucking that art style. Never again. Oh, Christ. All right, moving on. Because we are... What were we? Oh, God, it's 11:45. Castlevania Adventure Rebirth.
Never played it.
But how do I really
It
feel
was a
about
WiiWare
it?
game.
I could go on for hours about how much I hated the art style in those games.
Was this a remake of the first Castlevania again?
It was a
It's
remake.
it's a mixture of a remake of Castlevania 1 and Castlevania Adventure.
Oh wow.
It's supposed to be like a retelling of the adventure story, but like everything is pretty much different. It's not like the Haunted Castle Revisited, where it's basically like the same game, just updated gameplay and graphics. This is actually like it is updated gameplay, and the levels are completely different. So, still
Yeah,
an
it
abundance of eyeballs.
It doesn't look
But-
bad. Yeah, I'm just seeing on the picture. I'm seeing eyeballs, but it doesn't look bad. It actually
Like-
looks kind of
But
sharp.
like I said, that's made fun of at the first boss, who was basically a giant eyeball. So
But like, I guess my gripe with it's too bright and colorful. When I'm thinking of Castlevania, you kind of want that dark,
hold on.
gritty.
In Portrait isn't.
Shut up. That's a Castlevania.
I like the fact that they expanded more on Christopher, because Christopher is one of the more underrated Belmonts. With Belmont's Revenge with him and his son Soleil was actually a decent story. They don't tell that here because this isn't a Belmont's Revenge remake. It is a remake of the original game. But I mean, it's fine.
Also,
not-
it's only ever been offered on the Wii shop, correct?
Correct.
Is it?
Yeah, it was a WiiWare.
You cannot play this game at all
That's-
on anything.
That's probably why it'll never appear on a collection.
Correct. Why, you'll never be able to see it on eBay
Yeah.
unless you're a sucker. No, it's fine. I remember playing it. I remember enjoying it, and then I remember forgetting about it immediately afterwards.
So I would say B, probably C. It's forgettable.
Where am I
There.
gonna land? Where am I gonna land? Where am I gonna land? No, not there. There you go, B.
Nope.
It's. I mean, play it if you can.
It's good, but it's not great.
Speaking of good but not great, what?
Is it that time?
It's that time. It has always been that time. It is time. It is judgment time. Ooh, why did you even hold that up?
To prove that someone bought it.
I can actually step back on this one because I have not played it.
I have not
for
played it
good
either.
reason. Oh, good, Patrick. The floor is yours.
Now wait, when did this game come out?
2008.
So right, well, because on the back it's got advertisements for Order
Order of Ecclesia.
So like, when you just stop and think about it, the concept seems dumb. Because it's like, when you think of, like, fighting games, Castlevania's not really coming to mind. Here, I'll say something good about the game. The soundtrack's really good because it's just remixes of Castlevania songs. But that's about it. That's where the goodness ends. It's not good. It's not even laughably bad. From what I remember playing of it, it's a 2-button fighter.
I don't know. That's laughably bad right there on my
Yeah.
screen.
And then also, it of its time, every Wii game had to have the stupid fucking motion controls.
Right. Which
It's bad.
got really old really quick, but they kept doing it.
And then there's certain, when you're not known for fighting games, the last thing you want to do is make a 3D fighting game. Only certain franchises can pull it off. This was not one of them. And then there's just the elephant in the room. Those character designs. as you can see on the screen, that's Ivy from Soul Calibur, but like the Timu version.
Can go back to that one. That's Maria, or supposed to be Maria.
Look,
Yep.
I'm not gonna sit here and kink shame somebody, but there is a lot of like deep hidden meaning behind some of these.
Voldo right
That's
there.
Grant Dynasty, by the way.
That is Grant
He
Dynasty.
looks like a pirate, doesn't he?
Looks like Voldo.
Yarr.
Cornell, I think Cornell's another. Oh no, Cornell's still a wolf.
No, Cornell's in it because when I think of werewolf, I think of let's just throw armor and spikes on a werewolf.
I don't
because
hate,
a werewolf
that
by
one.
itself is kind of pretty. Look at Saberwolf from Killer Instinct.
I am.
Yeah. No, you're not. That's not Saberwolf.
I don't hate that one. That one's not bad. Especially when
Go
you
to the
compare
worst
it.
one.
The worst I did. It
I
was
think,
Cassandra right there.
oh yeah, when you or Sypha. Oh yeah, that's terrible.
That's Sypha, yeah, or Cassandra
Yeah,
from Soul
yeah.
Calibur.
Marching band general lady.
Nah, dude, kink shame away in this case. Bayonetta heals. They're not pointy
Yeah.
enough for Bayonetta.
And they don't have guns on them.
Yeah, they don't have guns on them.
I think Eric is the worst one.
Oh my god. What'd they do to Eric?
Yes.
He's like a freaking in the game. He's like 35, 40. There, he's like 10.
He's 10. And he doesn't look like a Roman gladiator.
No.
When you talk about bad anime art style, this is the game.
And
it's horrible.
That's what they
like-
did to poor Shinoa.
Yeah, like no. How could you ruin such a and it's a great character and that's what she looks like?
And you know what's the funniest thing about this though? This came
There's
out
nothing
after
funny about this game.
this came out after Ecclesia, yet doesn't have Soma, who was like the new big thing in Castlevania, and they didn't put him in the
No,
game
you
for some
got
reason.
you got other new character.
Oh, Aeon, that's right, who basically could have
Aeon.
been Soma with the art style in this freaking game. If you told me that was Soma, I'd be like, okay, yeah, that's Soma.
Because with however they butchered everybody else, you can say, well, yeah, that's
Yeah.
Soma. I don't remember having a giant clock or a giant stopwatch.
No, but maybe one of the souls he got was a
Yeah,
clock tower soul. Yeah.
but
I think the only one that kind of resembles the character
is Alucard.
Alucard. Yeah, Alucard looks about the closest.
Trevor kinda too.
Trevor.
Eh,
Yeah, kind of. I mean, he also looks like he's on his way to the BDSM. club.
Yes, it's
Like-
Trevor.
look,
I think Carmella
If you
is the fucking worst.
if you took the whip away from Trevor, I would have said that's Grant because he has an eye patch, and it's like, well, that's what a pirate would wear.
That's
right.
that's Alucard, by the way. I do not
That's-
see that at all.
It's manageable. I could kind of see it, but oh, it's just bad.
And then Shinoa, yeah, what even is that?
Simon's. Oh, what'd they do to you? You want to talk about BDSM?
But like I said, I'm not gonna.
He's in a
kink shame
K-pop
people.
band.
I'm not gonna kink
K-pop
people, but-
band.
it's K-pop Simon.
Well, no, okay. Probably the only legit one's Maria, because that's kind of how she sort of looked in Rondo.
He's on his way to film Bond. Bound, not Bond.
Bound. There you go.
Bound.
Like what?
Bound, James Bound, or look, he's a fucking dentist with the hook.
Death.
It's
I knew that. I knew that's all this one was going to be, was just us going over the character models.
well, I think we were probably we teased it. We were gonna do a tier ranking of.
Not right now, or not.
No. It's just bad.
The Golem looks good.
What year is this?
2008.
2008. It came out right around Ecclesia, because Shanoa's a hidden character, but if you link up your DS with it, you automatically unlock her.
It's hilarious because on the wiki page, it's not even listed.
There's a reason.
Yeah. It might be.
I had
It might
actually
be under. It might be
forgotten-
under the spin-offs.
I had forgotten about it until you had posted that picture. I was like, oh my god, I completely forgot about this one.
It's
I should make it.
Well, we don't
Make it its own
bring le-
tier.
don't even put it on the list.
Okay, there you go. It's back down there. Moving on
God.
from that. Yeah, you're washing the taste of it out of your mouth.
God.
Castlevania Arcade. I don't think any of us played that, right?
No.
Japan only.
It
But
was Japan only.
It falls under the, hey, let's make a fighting game. Okay, what else could we do? A rail shooter based on Castlevania.
Sure, why not?
Sure. Castlevania is really known for its long-range friggin' fighting.
Mm.
And I believe it has a whip that instead of like a light gun, you have a whip, and it's like, well, this is gonna get old fast.
Yeah. How would you reload a whip?
I don't know. I saw what was it in what Mission Impossible? God, which one was it? The one with Henry Cavill. He reloads his arms.
Yeah, they actually they reference that to do as Deadpool. Oh,
yeah,
spoilers!
they-
Spoilers, by the way. Whoops! I forgot you probably
It's
haven't
hilarious-
seen it.
It's hilarious, but I mean, he reloads his arms.
And that wasn't even written in the thing. He just did it, and they're like, "Ooh, keep that. That's cool."
Yeah, keep that. It looks cool. Yeah, I want to give him a hug. He's awesome.
Go see Deadpool Wolverine. You'll enjoy.
I
You'll
will
enjoy
see
it.
I'll see it. When it's on.
I think
you
it's
know,
on
video
demand now.
Is it?
I think
Nah.
so.
I think it's later this month. I think.
Oh,
Mm,
I was
let me
seeing
check.
advertisements on my TV. I don't.
Well, it's probably Although Joker is already out like a
Yes,
two
Scamdar it
days
is. Comic
course it is.
accurate Wolverine was the highlight of the movie.
yeah, it's on Apple TV for $20.
Ugh.
But I mean, if it was on Amazon, but it's not. It looks like it's only.
Oh, they're gonna
It's
make that an
only on-
Apple TV exclusive.
No, it's probably just a timed exclusive before it goes to like
Acco-
video on demand. for,
According to
like, you know-
Scamdar, it is on Amazon.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm looking on my thing here. It's not coming up, but let me go here. No. Okay. Yeah, I'll take your word for it. But yeah,
Yeah. Check it out. Watch it with Riker.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It'll be like,
It-
"Why do you
show-
hate me, Dad?"
show
Oh wait,
me a-
Wolverine
show
or
him another
Joker?
movie.
It has more.
I had to write him an apology for making him watch Ghost Watch because he was terrified.
It has more f bombs than the every single MCU movie.
Well,
Oh, we're talking about
So,
Deadpool. Wolverine. I
like,
thought you were talking
one?
about Joker.
Oh no.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
was
think
gonna
more
say,
f
like-
bombs than 1 and 2 combined as well. I believe. It's a treat. I love the movie.
I do like the fact that it came out recently. The writer for She-Hulk was
Mhm.
like trying. She wrote a bunch of She-Hulk scenes to put in the Deadpool movie, and they were
Ryan
like,
Reynolds was like, "No."
"Yeah, Ryan Reynolds was like, no, we're good." And she went on Twitter and complained, and it was like, "Yeah, guess what? He made the right decision."
Yes, he
dummy."
did. He definitely
yeah, he
made the
doesn't-
right decision. The only thing is it a spoiler to say who the villain is?
Don't,
Patrick.
I'm gonna watch. No, don't spoil
All
it
right.
because I've lasted this long without having it spoiled. So
They do something to somebody, and I'll just
okay.
versus what
Well,
their character
I'll
is in the
see
comics.
I'll see it soon. I was waiting for it to. I didn't know it.
You know what I'm talking about, right, Patrick? Without saying it.
Probably.
Okay.
physically it came out
Leave it
last
that-
week.
leave it at
Holy
that.
Shit. All right, I might
Uh,
pick up the. I mean, if the physical copy is not too bad, I might pick it up.
Anyways, here is a game that I know is going to get contention based on something that Cecil said at the very beginning. Harmony of Despair.
I'm gonna say A or B.
Yeah, me too.
Like,
Cecil.
okay, let's well here
I,
let's hear, because here's what I was
I,
gonna say. I'm like, okay, so
I want to
a
preface.
Castlevania fighting game.
I
That'll be
want to.
good.
I want to preface real quick though that our experiences are probably gonna be different from Cecil's because you and I played the hell out of this game
We
together.
played the shit out of this game.
So
I played it with you too.
You
and
did?
I didn't, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I probably didn't play it as much as you did, but the
yeah,
only
we were
times
on this
that
game like every goddamn night.
yeah,
when it
I
first
was
came
like,
out.
this stinks. I don't like it. I'm not good at multiplayer games. And when you take a notoriously single player game and you make it into a forced multiplayer game, you immediately lose me.
It wasn't forced multiplayer. You could play that on your own.
You could play it all on your own, but it was even worse playing it on your own.
Yes.
It was, I mean, at least with
It
your
was
friends,
rough
you
playing
kinda,
on your own. Yes.
it was harder,
Unless-
and with your friends you could fuck around and have fun and kind of, you know, but playing it by yourself, it's just all right, everything now sucks, you die all the time and it's terrible.
It was manageable on your own if you had all the good gear.
Right. But you had to play it a whole lot
Yes.
in
To
order
get the
to
good
get the
gear,
good
yes.
gear. And so you're grinding a
Yeah.
game that you're not enjoying to get gear
How
so
many
you
times-
can beat a game that you're not enjoying.
How many times
Did we fight Dracula?
oh my god. When I finally got that Valimway drop, I was just like, oh my god, yes, I don't want to play this anymore.
I just remember, like, wasn't there like a chandelier that was like a big
Probably.
monster head with feet?
Yes.
Yeah, I just
I
remember
don't
that.
It
and
was
I'm like,
it was the thing that got introduced in Dawn of Sorrows, wasn't it?
I don't remember that at all.
I
Oh, the
think
Puppet
so.
Master.
Yeah, the Puppet Master.
Okay. No, it was a marionette. It wasn't a
was a
chandelier.
marionette. Or, no, well, I mean, we're talking like, you know, I played it, what, 15 years ago or whatever, you know, or however long ago, 10 years ago. But I'm like, I just remembered that. I remember it fell down and we all had to kick it. I'm like, I'm not enjoying this.
We all had to kick it.
I would put it.
I'm
put it
just
in
visualizing everybody like getting the puppet master down, and then everybody just jumping up on top and just dive bombing its head. Now, even though
Dude.
that never happened, that visual just popped into my head. It's A or B.
It's A or B, but somebody's gonna give it a D, so it's
I'm
gonna
giving it a
it's
D.
Yeah,
so
you're
it's
a
gonna
D.
average to a C.
No, sir, I don't like it.
You're a D. All right.
Put it at the top of C tier.
You know what? Yeah, there you go. All right. Only game left now is Grimoire of Souls, which was the Apple exclusive, which I've never
That
played.
is, and I don't even think you can play it anymore. Correct?
I don't know if it's still on Apple TV. I'm not Apple TV. Apple no, you know what? It's not because I can't think of it. No, I don't think there's any way to play this game
You didn't
anymore.
play.
Which game?
Grimoire of Souls. It was an Apple exclusive.
Apple, like what exclusive? Like,
Apple Store exclusive.
Oh, so it was a mobile game.
Yeah, but I think you could play it on the PC, on the Mac as well.
Oh, huh.
So, hold
But
on.
it's no longer available.
It's
Well,
no
it's
longer available now.
They lost the license and
Grimoire of Souls. Castlevania Grimoire of Souls. Now it's saying it's an arcade game. What?
maybe it was ported to the.
Find it on Apple Arcade. Oh, it's still available, apparently.
Nah, I didn't play.
No, app is only available on the App Store and da-da-da-da-da.
Let's see, yeah.
Supposedly it like added some lore to some of the older Castlevania games and expanded Genya Arakado's story from Sorrow, and well, considering Genya Arikado, considering his last name is Arikado, you could probably figure out who he actually is.
Domo Arigato.
Domo Arikado. It's Alucard. Arikado is Alucard in Japan.
Well, considering on the cover, it's Alucard's head.
Go ahead. Not played. And we're just
Yeah.
leaving Judgment down here on its own.
Yeah, no.
You know what? Hold on.
Castlevania, no.
Castlevania, no.
Oh, shit.
Shit, yeah, that's what tier it is.
I think my faces are blocking that, but there. That's what tier it's in now.
It's kind of
Yeah.
There we go.
which is right where it belongs, where no one can see it.
Yeah,
There you go.
Castlevania, no.
Castlevania, no.
Sounds
Wasn't
like
it? Well, wasn't it? It was Alucard and like what Richter and like I mean, it's,
And
I
what?
don't even remember who else there were in
Oh,
the
Castlevania,
Castlevania no
no.
picture.
it was Alucard, Richter, and some dude named Mephisto.
Okay.
Which
Yeah, just
I have
and
no
then there
idea who
was-
Mephisto is, and I'll keep saying
There
that.
was there I just the nipple getting licked.
Yeah, that's so wrong.
Still want to see this photo, Skandar?
Yeah, you really don't. Nikado avocado.
Avocado, avocado.
Now is that pre or post weight loss?
I think that's a reference only you're getting.
Oh, you don't know.
You don't know?
No, what?
He's not fat anymore.
He's
Who?
not fat anymore. He was a mukbang guy who was like he ate himself into just
You'd
illness.
know him if you saw a picture of him.
Yeah. Like dude just ate shit tons of bad food and got really fat, and apparently he banked a whole bunch of videos, and while all those videos were coming out, he was like he went on Ozempic and had his stomach stapled. Don't lie. Yeah, I love this. Oh no, I went on it. No, you didn't.
Not
You,
as
you look
fat-
like every other person that went on Ozempic. So
Well, that's all of them.
that is all. Wow, I actually
Every single
played
Castlevania.
more than I realized, or at
I-
least I even knew. Like I had forgotten about some of them, and I'm
There's some of
Also-
them that one of them I wish I didn't remember.
And if once I started this, you were the one that brought Judgment up, and I was like, "Oh God, I remember that now." Fortunately, I never played it. But yeah, replaying some of these was great too because it made me remember. It changed my opinion on a few. Because before I replayed it, I probably would have put Portrait right there up there with SNA. And then I replayed it, and
Where it deserves.
it's not where it deserves.
in the toilet.
Dawn of Sorrow. Actually, no, that doesn't deserve it. A either. Aria deserves the S though. You're all insane.
Arya deserves the other. I would say that I'm good with the list. I think that the ones that are in the S tier are the ones that I
Judgment
think
should go up a few.
deserve it. Oh, jeez. Yeah, put Judgment all the way up.
Yes.
No, I've never even played it, and I'm mad.
Cecil sent me a photo. Let me reset this. Cecil just sent me a photo when I was first explaining this. I think this was his tier or his picks or his.
Yep.
I think that's what he sent me. I'm like,
I'm pretty sure that's what I said.
I'm like based.
Oh, I thought S meant shit.
I was like the two that I never played, and fucking
Symphony on the bottom.
Symphony on the bottom, just piss everybody off.
Or not even rank it.
So-
Didn't play.
So ranking. I guess we'll take what was it? Hold on 1 second. Let's do this real quick here. We had that. What was the other ones that we had up there? Castlevania 4 and Symphony.
Super.
What's the best one?
That's-
Su- I'd say Super Symphony Ecclesia.
Yeah, I think I'd have to go with that too.
Well, since you're not allowing me to put Aria up there, I'd probably pick the exact same. I'd actually probably put Ecclesia than Symphony.
Mm.
I'd probably
I don't know. Like Symphony for
They're
me
all
is just like
They're
it's
all
that
three
like
different.
Yeah.
Like Symphony's just that like comfort food. You know, you go back to it every so often, and you know it, you vibe with it, you
Yes.
play it. It's
Because
like yeah.
the other ones that have come out after it have improved on it,
Right.
but
I-
they also have faults where that's like the great baseline model. Like, okay, it's good, but like other ones have come out that improved on it, but then they lack something that has.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
In Ecclesia's case, it's a soundtrack, which is nowhere
Yeah.
near as good as Symphony's.
I would say
The-
I would say a bonus with Ecclesia is that now that they put out the Dominus collection is now it's not locked to the DS, so you can play it, you know, on your TV,
Mhm.
on your computer,
Yeah.
on your so you know you're getting that enjoyment out of it.
I've just been playing it on my Steam Deck,
Like,
so
well-
I'm playing it portably anyways.
There you go. But I mean, I don't know. I think like there's a certain amount of joy that comes when you have something that is previously a portable game that you can now play on your on your TV
Well,
or
and
computer
then
or whatever.
like the bad gimmick of Dawn of Sorrows using the touchscreen with the Dominus collection, they have so many different ways they have implemented to do it.
They
What-
made it easier.
Yeah.
Like they've improved on that big time.
Who's out of that? All right. I think that's a wrap then. We ranked that. I am tired. So I
Because
think
of that sneeze that you did, it hurt you, and you got to take a nap.
what happened?
From when you sneezed, you hurt yourself, and you have to take a nap.
There's more
You have to go. You have to go soak in a
so
tub.
so
of
I'm not the
Epsom
only one
salt.
where they sneeze and their shoulders hurt afterwards.
No,
It's like
It
not even
Yeah.
not even connected yet. Somehow I'm breaking my collarbone because I'm sneezing.
No, I'm not even kidding. I like a while I sneezed and something in my back popped, and I had to sit down.
Yes.
Look,
I had one of those fucking epic sneezes. I was like, oh fuck.
judging by the chat, I probably could go out and buy that Castlevania Dracula X, and she would never know about it because I've had this microphone for like 6 months. She just never comes in here.
I kind of figured she was talking to you and not me.
Yeah.
Because this is also a
Where the
brand
hell
new
did you
mic.
get that? I'm just seeing that. Where the hell did you get that microphone?
Amazon.
So where is that? Is
This-
that upstairs?
No, this is in the basement.
Oh, you're in the okay in the. Oh, did you
They
put
moved.
like a?
Yeah,
Oh,
we
you moved?
Yeah, they
Oh,
moved.
I
They
had no
moved a
idea.
couple years ago.
Oh,
We
no
moved-
shit.
We moved like a month before Kanan was born.
Oh, okay.
Remember, Cecil's not on Facebook.
Yeah, no, he's not on Facebook no more.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm not on Facebook. Well, I'm on Facebook.
Oh wait, go ask Mrs. C. Like, hey, did you know that they moved? And she'll be like, yeah, like 3
Well,
years.
she's my update. You know, she tells me all the shit, you know, that you guys do. You know, or
I remember-
she'll, oh, look at this picture.
I don't
you know,
remember what it was, but I remember something happened in my life, and you didn't find out. It was something like, I think it had something to do with you too, and you didn't find out about it until like a week later.
That probably would have happened if
You-
I was on there too.
And I think we had told you, and then Mrs. T said something to you, and you said what? Like
What time was it supposed to be on?
It's
8:30?
just like, we
Yeah,
to-
it's 8:39.
I'm like, where
I-
are you guys?
I looked at
Oh,
Patrick. I looked at Patrick when you said that, and I just said, "Well, he's technically you're not wrong. It isn't 8:30." So,
right. Well, I mean, look again. To be fair, I thought you were gonna start a call. There,
well, I
I
was
didn't know
waiting
that-
for everybody to
And
be
then-
ready,
And then we're sitting there. I'm like, he's not gonna join this chat unless we tell him to join the chat.
and you
Keep
were
it
right.
Yeah.
Well, it hit me like right after I wrote "Where are you guys?" I was like, "Oh, I'm like, God, I forgot," because I think I built this Discord. Not I mean, for we just for
Well, it was
using
what
for
we
this.
we made it when we didn't know how Discord worked.
Exactly.
So-
You know what? I still, if you ask Scamdar, I still don't know how it works.
No, you don't.
No, I have no idea what I'm
I'm
doing.
in your server too, dumbass.
I know. I actually
I-
was
I don't
consulting with
sa-
somebody. I'm like, can you teach me how to do this?
I don't say anything, but I at least see how dumb you are at making things.
Look, I am good at talking.
Yes.
I'm good at editing. I am not good at anything else really.
Or multiplayer Castlevania games.
No, or multiplayer Castlevania games. The Castlevania HD can
Gamer.
suck a dick.
Oh
I
my
hate
god,
that game.
the bison painting. I just noticed. It's been front and center the whole stream.
Well, to be fair, your picture
we were
you had
remember we
you
were very
shrunk.
shrunk down.
oh
very
yeah,
shrunk
that's
down.
true. And now I expanded it. So
Yes.
yes,
It's-
the bison is Majora right
you.
above it.
It was Tuesday.
I have the one you really can't see is
I see
Ludwig.
Majora's Mask.
And Ludwig is standing on my treasure chest back there.
Oh yeah, I can't.
You can barely make him out, but
I can't see it. Yeah, I just see your Pokeball and. Is that a Final Fantasy? Is that Mega Man
Ludwig.
and then Final Fantasy?
Yes, Mega Man 2 and Final Fantasy 6.
Okay. Yeah, I can kind of
Uh,
see that.
What else do I have over there? My Kingdom Heart key is over there too, but it's behind the blinds. Yeah.
I have too much junk.
Also, Black Yoshi. Yes, Black Yoshi's over there. Yeah, and 90% of it is junk that's over there. There's a couple of decorations, and it's all trash. I really have to clean this room.
Yeah, you know what?
But-
Here, I'm gonna give me 1 second.
Oh.
Well, I'm gonna send you if you want to see what my place looks like. I actually have something where I can show you.
Ooh. You gonna pop it up on the screen here, or we
No,
gonna-
I can. I'm just sending you the link.
Okay. I'll look at it later
It's a
then.
dick pic.
No, it's not a dick pic. You can see the I'm talking. I'm doing a short, and there's
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't have to. I see. I don't have to click that.
mm.
And I
Or actually, that's not me. That's AI.
yes, of course.
He won't take you on a tour because he's not real.
Right.
A bunch of cats in a trench coat.
Yes, 3 cats in a trench coat.
But I think on this note, I am going to log us off and head out for
Alright.
the night because I'm loopy. I need to go to
And you
bed.
didn't even drink.
I'm old.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm drinking tea and water.
No, I got nothing. I finished my vanilla Coke like freaking 20 minutes ago. Now my throat's getting dry. Don't even say it.
Well, you want some throat yogurt?
Yes. No, I don't need throat yogurt. All right. Cecil will be on tomorrow at 10 on
Somehow
his
I will
channel
be on tomorrow
with
at 10.
much fewer followers now.
Survivors?
Survivors, yes. Told you I'm
I have to figure out. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna play tomorrow. I have no idea. I have nothing
Castlevania.
planned.
Castlevania
That's
Judgment.
cool. I should probably. Yeah, I should. That makes the most sense. I mean, last week I played. I did play the first one. So yeah, maybe I'll do that.
All right. All right. Have a good night, everybody.
All right, take care.
Take care.